1 and 2 open at the beginning for our race seed settings, just to give the runners a little more options toward the beginning. You need the anti-barrier and the bracelet for excess castle. So you need all 6 of those items in order to proceed to the Void and to Neo X Death. Now we do start with 1 tablet. It's always tablet 1, so it's not just like a randomized tablet, it's just tablet 1. So realistically, they're looking for 3 tablets, anti-barrier, and bracelet.
Exactly. So here we can see the runners starting off. I didn't get to see what their starting job was. Were you able to catch that, Karma?
Berserker.
Oh, that is some fun times coming up. So, Berserker, now one of my favorite classes, because there's some fun things that you can do with it. But if you've ever played Final Fantasy V random career, or not career day, just Final Fantasy V, Berserker you cannot control. It just auto attacks every single turn. So that can make some fights very, very easy because they do tend to hit a little bit harder. But it can also make it very, very difficult because you're not sure what bosses you're going to get.
Yeah, so somebody mentioned in chat the movement speed. So we have some quality of life things on the randomizer. One is you never have to really level Thief. We have Sprint auto-equipped and auto-enabled at the beginning of the seed. The second thing we have is we have See Passages automatically enabled, so you can see the secret passages. It's just little quality of life things to help out the runners, right? It makes the seed not drag.
Yeah, for sure.
You're also going to see them pick up random items. Some places are tiered a little differently than others. So, like, you saw them pick up Cure 3. Cure 3 in Tycoon Castle is not super normal. Cure 3 in Tycoon Castle is not super normal. It's usually a little bit higher tier item. But finding it that early is very, very nice if we find any way to White Mage. Now, they did find a Dancer Crystal as another class option. I do like Dancer in this a lot, especially if they find a early Chicken Knife.
Yeah, so the Chicken Knife is definitely a huge item, especially with the Dancer, really allows for damage outputs, but Dancer just by itself does allow quite a bit of damage to be pumped out. Just with doing different sword dances, even attempting Tango. So we have seen runners before really utilize the Dancer. I think last time we ran this, we actually had, I'm forgetting which exact runner it was, but they were using the Dancer strategies to really pump out some damage.
That would have been me. I love the Dancer. So me and Windfox were on the last one, and his favorite strat is actually Berserker with bow. You find one of the 2 good bows, and it dishes out pretty good damage. So Berserker automatically amplifies the damage, and Yoichi and Artemis bows, which are the 2 best bows in the game, tend to drop fairly early in this randomizer. My favorite strat, even though it's a little less what I want to say consistent, is Dancer. It really just depends on your RNG. It's supposed to be a 50-50 as long as you have Rainbow Suit, Red Shoes, or Tiara, but my luck tends to be more like 20%.
And there you can see Crimson did just post in the chat, so that is the link that will take you to the Final Fantasy V Career Day randomizer that you're seeing right now. That link will also take you to the wiki that has a lot of great information on there about the randomizer, and it will also take you to our Discord. Oh man, Garlyle finally needing the chemist job, and he does have the money for it, so it'll be interesting to see if he picks it up now, before he picks it up later. But we talked about this last time. Chemist and Samurai are considered kind of the 2 top tier jobs in this randomizer, just because of how absolutely insanely strong they are. The Chemist mix ability between Draining Kiss, between really like last time we ran this, we saw like the Samson power spells to really bump up your level, kind of artificially bump up your level for the boss fights. So would not be surprised if all the runners pick that up pretty quickly.
Yeah, so Chemist is probably one of the most broken classes in the game. The mix ability just has so many uses. You got everything from death potions, which you can farm. In this randomizer, you can actually turn on encounters if you would like. And if you happen to on the control ability, you can go farm prototypes on the island south of Crescent Island to farm dark matters. So you just have anything that's deathable. You can just throw a potion at it and it dies. It's insane. Doesn't care about heavy either. But also leveling, like you said, that can just be useful in some fights. Samurai. So the reason Samurai is usually good is it's based off of physical defense. So the physical defense of Ned is actually lower than you'd expect. But there's a lot of bosses in the game that just absorb that damage.
Yeah. So the other thing we possibly might see, so iHNN goes by I have no name, but we just call him no name for short. He might be going in to check the hint right now, or maybe he's not, and just gonna make me look a fool.
Well, we did get the hint checked already on Garlyle's side. It's barrier towers on the path.
Okay.
So that is the World 2 underwater tower. It will require a sub key.
So for anybody who's not played this randomizer before, so this randomizer does have an excellent hint system in it as well, similar to like what Ocarina of Time has, as well as like the other Zelda randomizers, where they'll give you different hints on like what checks you do need to look at. So anything that says it is on the path of the void, that means eventually somewhere through that like chain of key items that you will get, you will receive a tablet. It might tell you like this place has no keys of value, so you know you don't need to go check those places. There is ones like they'll straight up tell you, they say this item is in World 2 or in World 1. Total there is in World 1 there is what, 6 hints, I think?
I think you're right, but it's here. I'll give you an extra count. Hold on.
Yeah, I think it's like 6 hints, and there we can see Karnak Meteor
There's
holds the
5
anti-barrier.
in World 1. There's 5 in World 1, 5 in World 2.
Okay.
And then there is 5 in World 3. There's 5 in World 3.
That's right.
There's 3 in Trench and 2 in Mirage.
Yeah, that's right. But there we just saw, so one of the key items, I forget what exactly what it said, but it did say so-and-so holds the anti-barrier. So the anti-barrier is one of the key items that we need to unlock World 3. So one of the things, if you're a newer runner, or even I still do this, is have a pad out, like either a physical pen and paper or a notepad out, and always try to write down your hints, because we've seen some runners really get lost and end up, unfortunately, like last week, where the runner just forgot like what item he got out of a spot that was on the path of the void. So it's kind of the very last check.
So what you want to do is I have an Excel spreadsheet where I keep my hints, and I don't say it like this as kind of a boast, but like I don't keep tabs on what items I get because I have a decent memory for it. It's just the way I work. But like if you have trouble remembering things, especially short term, definitely keep a track of what key item you get, especially if it's a Path of the Void location.
Yeah.
Because it's very easy to get something early that's for World 3 and then forget about it by the time you get World 3.
Yes. And this randomizer is a little bit on the larger side too, so there is quite a few key items, so it can be very easy to forget what you got where, especially like Karma said, on the Path to the Void items. The other thing I always make a note of too is because there's so many shops, is I'll write down like, oh, this city had Phoenix Downs, because Phoenix Downs might only be available in one city. So remembering where they are instead of having to go near the end of the race going, oh god, where did I see Phoenix Downs at, and spending all that time trying to find them again is really helpful as well.
So Phoenix Downs, tents, and elixirs are probably the 3 bigger ones. You can usually buy enough softs the first time you see them for the whole seed. Most consumables, unless you for sure know you're going to be doing the chemist tricks at the end, you only need like 10 to 20.
Oh,
if you're doing chemist tricks, then you'll want to pick up 40 antidotes, 40 revivifies, extra Phoenix Downs, and sometimes some extra eye drops.
Yeah. Yeah, I would say definitely in this randomizer, and it's pretty standard for a lot of randomizers, but especially in this one, like, when I find softs the first time, I am going to buy a stack of softs, because there's quite a few bosses in this that love to petrify you, so that you just are like, okay, look, I'm not going to want to have to deal with that later on. Let me just get a stack of them right now.
So we see 2 different approaches here. Garlyle has went to, I think, just about every town, so he knows where all the shopping is already.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have No Name, who is in our first dungeon, per se, our first boss location. So he's about to see what the low-level boss is here for Wing Raptor. Now, the bosses are completely randomized. This can be a couple bosses that for Berserker is just straight up impossible.
But this is easy. Oh, it could be a little bit longer just because you cannot control your attacks, but you kind of got lucky
these guys are going to have so low health. So the health that's normally on Wing Raptor is going to be split between all 3 of these.
Yep.
So they're going to have almost no health.
And you're not required to save Golem either.
No, but you want to keep Golem, honestly.
Yep.
This early in the game, you want it so you can have the summon. His issue is if the Berserker accidentally kills it.
Yep, which it looks like should not be an issue, especially getting lucky here. But
Yeah.
yeah, so if you see actually save Golem, you actually do get the Golem Esper, which that could be scary if the other... I think he's actually going to heal him. Okay, yeah. So Golem is probably by far one of the best Espers in this game. It kind of does a similar thing that it does in 4, 5, 6, all the others where it blocks physical damage, but it's just so good in this one because there's quite a few bosses that do a truckload of physical damage. And just putting it up is nice and easy. But Summoner is another one of the very kind of top tier Summoner top tier jobs in this as well. There's so many Espers alone that are very, very strong that if you find it and you have the Summoner job, it's just like, okay, well, there's no reason not to use this now.
So for me, Summoner is probably the first top tier job. It probably is the #1 job. Oh, he just found Break Black. Break Black's actually insane.
Yep, that's another great magic.
But it takes Black 4 or 5 to use. I can't remember.
I believe it's 5, if I remember correctly. But I could be wrong.
Yeah, so it goes by row. If you ever see him go to check his magic list, every row is a level.
Yep.
So first row, second row, third row. I think it might be 4, because I think there's only 6 rows. But
you know what we have not seen anybody do just yet. What we touched on, I just saw this on No Names. Is nobody has gone to the sealed castle just yet.
No, and see that's kind of the difference you'll see with some runners. Some runners do like the World 1 checks a lot better sooner. Me, I do go to World 2 because the World 2 checks are higher tier, and you tend to get broken stuff that just makes the game easier.
See, I normally will do the sealed castle to see what's there, and I'll get all of my hints first, and then I'll start going back to do World 1 to get some just easy experience before diving into World 2. But I'm surprised nobody, because most of the time, like, going into the sealed castle can straight up tell you, like, oh, well, I found this job. Well, it's by far better than anything else I'm going to have. So maybe they feel with Dance already, they don't need to go grab it, with No Name having, looks like a battle axe or some sort. He's just like, hey, I'll just grab it when I actually go to World 2. But Gilgamesh 3 going down really quick, and it kills him before Enkidu can even come out.
Yeah, so all these bosses at the beginning are going to have really low health. Now, Garlyle, I like what he's doing. So what Garlyle's doing is he went and did all his hints in World 1. Except for, I think he didn't do Waltz Castle. He did all of his shops. Now he's going to do his World 2 checks. So he's going to do his World 2 shops, he's going to do his World 2 free items, and he's probably going to do his Sealed Castle. He may even check a boss or 2. Because if you get to the point where you have a couple of the cheese spells, I would say, so Shoat, Break Magic, Doom, anything that casts Doom, Odin, then or Slash. Slash is another big one that you can find. Then it just makes it to where you might be able to wipe out one of these bosses in World 2 really early. And then you get this level boost that just makes you get to go on a rampage in World 1.
Yeah. Yeah, it definitely, like, but it does require you finding, like, some of those certain items, so there is kind of a bit of risk to it, and you could just get bad bosses in World 2. But it definitely is another approach you can take to it, and I believe he is at Ball Castle right now.
He's in Surgate, so he's doing Surgate. The thing with the bosses, and this is one thing I love about this randomizer, is if it's a bad boss, it's okay. Yeah. So most of the bosses have a save point right before them, and another quality of life feature that they added was that while paused, you can hit select L and R at the same time and unpause, and it'll just soft reset the game. Yep,
instantly paralyzes everybody, and you just get to... And Final Fantasy V does start a little bit faster than, like, some of the other Final... Because I know some people would just use, like, on their emulator, do, like, the reset start game from there. But Final Fantasy V actually does reset fairly fast. Like, there's not a lot of intro, like, slowdown or anything like that. So, No Name does find the Hunter Crystal. And finding it this early, yeah, he's going to probably switch over to it to try to get X-Fight fairly quickly. And does have an Ice Bow, too.
Here's another one where I differ from a lot of people. I actually don't prioritize X-Fight as much as a lot of people do. I don't find it... It's really good in the early game, scales down badly.
Yeah, there is, like, obviously, like, Neo X Death, you do not want to use it on just because you need to really control that fight. Yeah, I mean, but that's the great thing about this randomizer with the job system, is that you can have one completely different style and things you like, and I could have a completely different style, and us both be fairly competitive in keeping our times really close.
Yeah.
That's what I love about the job system is that, like I said, I love the Berserker. If I get a Berserker and I can find a Rune Axe and the Thornlet to do the Underflow glitch, I'll do it every time because it's one less character that I don't have to think about what I'm doing with because he just auto-attacks, and he can put out extremely large.
First checks of Sealed Castle. This is actually kind of important.
Yep.
So we got Sage Staff, Bahamut. The first item he saw was the Hardened Dagger. That's the Sasuke Dagger.
Yep.
That is a ninja-only dagger, but it's the strongest ninja-only dagger.
Not finding a lot of super. He does find a Rune Axe, and he does have Barbarian. Holy Lance is okay. Not finding a lot of the super stuff we'd like to see. A lot of, like, crystal armor. Leviathan is pretty good, and Bahamut is good, but he needs the ability to summon them.
So if I were picking from this lot, because they found Ninja already, I would probably take Hardened.
Oh, I didn't see they had found Ninja.
Yeah, they found Ninja already. I don't know if Garlyle has, but I know that I believe one of them's found Ninja. I've seen Ninja. I would take Hardened. I think I would take the Rune Axe.
Yep, I would
because
too.
that does do a lot of damage. And then I would probably take something like a Flame Ring until I knew whether I was going to get Summoner or high level. Because the issue with Bahamut and Leviathan is they're summon level 5.
Yeah,
both of them, and they take a lot of mana. Yeah, there's no guarantee you're going to find it early since it's not in here.
And it looks like he is going to take the Rune Axe too. So, because even just with the Barbarian, even if you just find like a high-level magic ability, Black 6, Dimension 6, stuff like that, you just give it to your Barbarian to really boost up his MP, so then he starts doing decent damage on his own. And he'll do solid damage even just right away with this Rune Axe, so...
Yeah, you're going to see... the one thing you're going to see that I really enjoy is that he's going to have the Rune Axe on the Berserker. He's going to have and see, he does have Ninja. So he's going to have Ninja with Hardened. And then he's going to clear bosses faster than No Name.
And he does have the Conjure ability, so he has Leviathan and Bahamut. So
I think he just picked up Bahamut. I don't know if he picked up Leviathan. He picked up
then
Bahamut.
he can still just Conjure and constantly get Bahamut.
Yeah, until he gets Golem.
Yeah.
Once he gets Golem, it'll rotate. So Conjure randomly pulls any Esper you want.
Yep. But on the good side, either one of those is good ones to randomly into. I mean, you're like, okay, well, I hit my Golem, and then I hit Bahamut over and over again. And even if I occasionally hit the Golem, no biggie. It doesn't cost any MP at that point. So he's set up pretty good. Now, with the other thing with being Ninja, now I'll normally do this too if I find Ninja, is you can always pick up some Skeens as well. Just, they're very quick, they hit everything, and in World 1, they just basically one-shot every boss.
Yeah,
so if
Skeens are pretty good.
Unless you're unlucky like me, where you just only find Fire Skeens, and then you run into, like, Living Flame, Ifrit, and all these bosses where you're just like, come on.
I didn't catch if he bought that, so he just found Breakblade. So, a lot of bosses in this game have an innate ability to evade magic. Breakblade just says no.
Yep.
If it's petrifiable and you hit it with Breakblade, it's dead. Okay, so Flying Wonka Ruins is also on the Path of the Void. So that means one of the 2 bosses from Adamantite is also Path of Void. So we are looking for Adamantite too.
Do you know, does Conjure give magic base stat like Summon ability does? I don't think it does. I think it literally is just an ability that doesn't give you a base magic stat. Is that correct?
I'm actually not sure, so that's one thing I don't know a lot about. I'm actually newer than you think to this game and the randomizer. I started probably a couple months ago.
Yeah, and I don't run it enough or have enough knowledge to know all of the kind of really, really in-depth stuff. If you ask in the Discord, somebody would be able to tell you, somebody like Dryalizer, who kind of has an encyclopedic knowledge of this game. He would be able to tell you. Artemy might be able to tell you too if they're in here. But unfortunately, I don't know off the top of my head. I don't think it does, but I don't know for sure.
We just found 2 big pieces of information, by the way.
What do we
One
find?
is Garlyle found a Yoichi bow for when he gets hunger. So Yoichi bow is actually probably the best bow. It's a little bit weaker stat-wise than Artemis, but it has a chance to crit on anything, whereas Artemis just 100% crits beasts. Now, funny enough, the Callow fight going on No Name, it has a pretty good crit rate. I mean, Yoichi bow has like I want to say like all close to a 40 to 50.
Yeah, it's pretty high.
it crits a lot.
Yep.
And the Artemis bow, though, crits on beasts, and Callow is a beast. Doesn't look like one.
Yeah. There's so many bosses that they are one thing and you never expect them to be that, but you're just like, okay, it is what it is in this game, so. But yeah, I mean, that's going to hopefully make quick work, but Callow can be a bit of a nasty boss this early on, because she does have that drain spell, so you're just like constantly like, oh great, so she drained me, so now I've got to redo that damage again. But hopefully, yeah, with that Berserker, doing around 600 swing should make fairly quick work of it still.
Yeah, and see, this is where the difference is. Like, when Garlyle gets there, he may just one-shot Callow.
Yes. Meanwhile, he is going to check out the Dragon Plant check, so...
Yeah, and see, this is something I like doing. I like going to the Dragon Plant. I love Hiryu Valley. Hiryu Valley has 5 or 6 really good items, usually.
Now, No Name did pick up his 4th tablet, though, so he has now 2 out of his 4 tablets that he needs.
Yeah, the second thing we found out was 3rd tablet's in World 2. So that could possibly mean that Barrier Tower is the 3rd tablet. Or it could be that it's somewhere else.
Yep, it could be Castle Hall. There's quite a few checks in World 2 still, so it's kind of hard to pin down. World 1, or World 3 only has like a few checks, so World 3 normally you can go, okay, well it's one of like a very small handful. But Worlds 1 and 2 definitely are where we have by far the most checks available. And for anybody who hasn't even played just the vanilla Final Fantasy V, I highly encourage you, either on the Game Boy Advance or on this. Okay, so it looks like he is, Garlyle's going to twick. Yeah, he knows he cannot take Leviathan there. If you have not played Final Fantasy V, either on the Game Boy Advance version or the original with the translation patch, I highly encourage you to. It's, story-wise, it's much more lighthearted compared to Final Fantasy 4 and 6, but mechanics-wise, like... I would say it's probably only second to maybe Final Fantasy VI, but there's just so many between the different jobs that are available. There's 22 different jobs. All the bosses, normally you have a kind of a trick way, I'll call it, that you can beat them. That's outside of just the normal like tank and spank and get through it, which makes like this randomizer possible and things like 4 jobs Fiesta mode possible. But it's a really good Final Fantasy game. Just on top of everything, I would say I'd probably put it as my second most favorite.
And this, so one thing I love about this community so far is since I joined it, everybody's helpful.
Yes.
So if you have an issue or you're a new player, like I jumped into somebody's stream earlier, I think it was the second stream that he streamed this game. He's coming from Enterprise, so this is a lot more. There's a lot more stuff going on for him than he's used to, and you're just giving him little helpful hints.
Yep. On
like possible locations, maybe things to consider picking up, things that kill bosses. Now you saw that.
Garlyle just straight up killed Golem.
Yeah, and that's both a good and a bad thing. So he got to skip the text, he got to skip the animation. He gets to skip the entire fight, essentially. But now he doesn't get Golem. And he may not be guaranteed to ever get Golem.
Yeah. He can still find it possibly in a shop or in a chest, but the 100% way is not there anymore.
So if for anybody who doesn't know, Golem gives you a shield against physical attacks that absorbs up to 3,000 damage before needing to be reapplied, which is a huge deal.
Yes, it is. Yeah, there's quite a few bosses that you'll put it up and it just makes the boss pretty trivial. But yeah, to the helping new people out, yeah, the community is amazing. If either somebody will occasionally hop in your stream to help out, or if you even just go into the Discord channel and you're like, hey, this is the team I got, this is the boss I'm stuck on. More likely than not, somebody will have a strategy and like, okay, well, did you possibly see this item anywhere, or do you possibly have this ability or something like that, where we can talk about like ways that you can kind of cheese it. There is quite a few bosses in this that you can one-shot them using a specific like petrify. You can cause their UI to just go into a loop like Catastrophe with float.
Oh man, float and wall ring, yes. But this speaking of cheese, what Garlyle's doing is essentially
or you can
cheese.
Just conjure Bahamut everything.
So Conjure randomly chooses a Esper you have, which is only Esper's Bahamut.
Yep.
And it's free.
Yep.
So it's not busted at all.
Yeah, this is one of those things where like this randomizer really makes you like really tests your knowledge. Because yeah, if he had accidentally picked up Leviathan, which Leviathan is still good as well, it would be switching back and forth between Leviathan. But because he knows Conjure is only going to do the one that he has, he can just have like 4 people using Conjure over and over and over again, and just basically Bahamut everything to death.
He picked something up that he reset?
Yeah, I'm kind of confused by that. Oh, yeah, okay. But Chad is saying he doesn't want Shiva. Because once he kills Shiva, he gets that Esper.
No, the box had Shiva. He looted the box in the ship graveyard.
Oh, okay, the box was okay.
The one with the skull and crossbones on it, and it had Shiva as the item drop.
And of course that would ruin his Mega Flare Conjure Strand. So yeah, that makes perfect sense. Why you're just like, no, I don't want this kind of really
I didn't see what he got there, but that makes sense, yes. Okay. He is going to find Hunter, and he's going to have Hunter with the Yoichi bow. Yep. So he's going to have another really strong attacker soon.
Because yeah, once you get X-Fight too, Yoichi bow can trigger its critical on each X-Fight attack. So
yeah, and it's not a slouch either. But all the way up through probably the first X-Death fight, it deals like up to 3k per crit.
Yeah, it does a truck of damage.
And that's without X-Fight, though. It probably does about 1,500 to 2k per crit on X-Fight.
I'm wondering if Garlyle's going to check any other chests, afraid to find an Esper, or if he's going to go, okay, so that one...
Well, he skipped one. Okay. He skipped one. He's probably going to open some more. A lot of people don't know that there's a chest in that north room. I don't know what it is about that one room.
Yeah, there's a few that most people like just skip out, either because it's like, oh well, it's kind of out of the way. I really need No Name to yes rest someplace because he is poisoned and it's driving me mad trying to watch his screen. Because like the poison in this game blurs quite a bit, and you're just like, oh, this is kind of unbearable to even look at. It does not play nice. There's a Corona jar, which is way overpriced.
So the difference between like prioritizations too, right? So me, as soon as I saw Chemist, I would have slam bought it.
Oh yeah, me too.
It's early enough that you would so like they might have already had the combine ability by now, and would have just not had to worry about it towards the end of the game.
Yeah. And I think we saw.
And there he goes. He put Hunter. Like he immediately went Hunter Yoichibo. Sorry, I was just laughing that instantly came out. But it still has Conjure on everybody, so it's just still going to be all Bahamut spam party until Bahamut doesn't kill things.
Yeah, that's probably going to be a strat for quite a bit of this, is just Conjure Bahamut.
Oh, so talking about cheesing bosses, so like he just beat Crayclaw. Crayclaw is petrifiable. Mm-hmm. He's petrifiable, the red one's not.
So you can clearly tell, you know, like, because they don't have a crystal ball, that when they were designing this game, much like a lot of, like, RPG randomizers, that they never expected the game to be randomized. So, in their minds, it's like, well, why would we ever code this boss that you'd normally see early on to be immune to an effect or ability that you cannot clearly get that early on? So, a lot of bosses can either be one-shot with things like Petrification, Instant Death, slash abilities like Odin or the Samurai Slash ability. So there's a lot of times where you can just go, let me just see if I can shoot this thing, and sure enough you can. So
yeah, so there's a lot of bosses that are the petrifiable, deathable, or if they're not heavy, they're Odinable.
Yep.
That's a very big particular to Odin Slash, is they can't be a heavy enemy.
Yes. But the good thing about Odin in this, in Final Fantasy V, is unlike with a lot of other Final Fantasy games, Final Fantasy V's Odin will, if they're not heavy, it'll do his instant slash ability called True Edge. If they are heavy, however, he does Gungear, which is a non-elemental piercing magical attack on one target. So it's not like, oh, Odin's completely useless if it's not this boss, or if it's not a boss I can do this on. Where is No Name going?
So there's a loot chest back here, and it's a little maze. It's actually 2 items. This is where the Brave Blade and the Chicken Knife usually rest in the base game. And they're randomized spots. I actually usually save before I come in here, and I'll check both of them. Because you can get stuff like running shoes here.
See, I never knew that was there.
Yeah, so he got an Air Lancet from that chest. I don't know if he saved or not, so he might just take the Air Lancet. Air Lancet's a pretty good dagger.
It is, yep.
It's not bad.
Meanwhile, Garlyle's going to just go in and get that free heal out of that jar there, and we'll see where he is off to.
So far, he's been doing a normal World 1 route for clearing.
Yep.
So I want to see if he continues going yeah, he's going to go to War's Castle. So I was wondering if he would do the Waltz Meteor. So the Waltz Meteor, it's not something you would think about doing this early because it's actually one of the later ones you do in the story.
Yeah.
But it's got the lowest HP with the highest experience gain out of any of the Meteor bosses.
Yeah, this Meteor spot is a weird one. Grandra, yeah, the Odin that you get out of this spell has both versions. The Odin that you get out of the Magic Lamp only does the one-hit KO version, but that's the only way that you can get the one-hit KO on Ned on the back part of him. No Name finds a boss that I adamantly hate in the Stalkers.
I don't think anybody likes this boss.
I really want to know what they were thinking when they designed this boss, because there's no, normally with a boss like this, there would be, a visible way to tell which one you need to hit, but there's not. And then, if you do randomly hit them, or if you use, a ability that targets everybody, they'll use their Blaze ability. I truly want to ask them, hey, what were you thinking when you designed this boss? Because even in vanilla, it's really annoying to get through.
So I don't think he's going to be able to beat it.
I don't think so either. He would have to get really lucky on a Swords Dance right there, which he didn't.
Yeah, I mean, he got the Swords Dance, but it wasn't the right one. So the way that Stalker works is there's 4 enemies. It starts off that every single one of them's vulnerable, so you can hit any of them that you want.
Yeah.
Which means an X fight at the beginning works real good. And then it starts changing to which one is vulnerable.
Yes.
So it looks like it's the one in the back. So he's going to hit it with... That's actually not... yeah, it didn't cause it to change. I was going to say, I don't think the Mystery Waltz is actually going to cause it to change.
Yeah, on the first turn it is everybody can be hit, so yeah, that's why you'll see a lot of people Sword Dance the very first turn. Hopefully they'll Sword Dance the very first turn to get it off and one-shot them. If you can survive it, Garlyle could possibly cast Bahamut and just one-shot it. He is still going to have to survive the Blaze.
Yeah, the Quad Blaze I think will kill him unless he has a Flame Ring.
So Garlyle picks up his 4th tablet as well, so he now has that. He's probably not... I don't imagine he's going to go back to the Sealed Castle right away, just because there was not too much exciting in there this time.
He may. I don't...
I mean, there's the Crystal Armors in there, which are solid.
Yeah. I was going to say, there's some nice defensives. And defensive items are good.
So, outside of the Sealed Castle, the other kind of 2 big places that offer very... because the rewards in this are tiered in the fact that, certain jobs, like Samurai is considered a Tier 9 job, just because of Guild Toss of how strong it is. And Guild Toss, the ability, is considered a Tier 9 ability. The other 2 places you always want to... If you're lucky, you'll find... is if you find the Moogle suit, that does allow you to go to the Moogle chests, where those would be in World 2. And 2 or 3.
It's in World 2, and Moogle suit's never required, but it has 7 super high tiered items. Pretty much in-game tier. So they're usually level anywhere from tier 7 to 9.
Yes. The other place is the Mirage. So finding the Mirage Radar can sometimes be required because you need the Black Chocobo to get to Bahamut. But Mirage Radar also has the shops that normally are in the vanilla, where they're very high level shops as well. So those are other 2 places outside the Sealed Castle and just random chests where you can find high-end level gear, abilities, jobs, and things like that.
Pyramid is also a place with the high-end stuff right now.
Which sounds like in the near future, Pyramid might also actually hold a key item, because currently it does not.
Yeah, so currently Pyramid is literally 29 checks, and that's it.
Yeah.
It's 29 high tier checks. Okay, he's going to try this. This is not going to work out unless he has something that absorbs fire.
Yeah, now he might... I don't know if he picked up the Flame Ring. If he has the Flame Ring on, which he does have a tablet, so he could... Okay.
Oh, they just all done. Okay, we're good.
Yeah.
They didn't do Bliss. Maybe it might be that it's early enough that it's not in their move pool.
It could be.
So he's going to get a lot of experience.
And a Dancing Dagger. That's solid.
Both of them actually got quite a bit of experience, because we saw on No Name's side he managed to beat the Waltz Meteor.
Yep.
Which is the one I was talking about earlier. He essentially one-shot it. It's a super fast meteor with a lot of experience to be gained, so it's kind of happy to see him actually do that one.
So for EXP settings,
4
4
times.
times. Yep, that's pretty much the race standard right now. Just because if we slowed it down too much, this rate randomizer times for this have been going down more and more. We're getting closer and closer to like consistently the 2 to 2.5 hour mark. But if you do get like a 100% seed, Omniscient, it can get up to like the 3 hour mark for things, even with 4 times EXP. So we try to keep it at 4 just to keep this as manageable a time as possible.
So for anybody who doesn't know, Omniscient does a... Oh, he's going to try to mute. Omniscient does a reset every time he's attacked with a physical attack. He can be muted. Yes. He has a very high magic evade. So what he's trying to do right now is he's trying to get lucky and hit a white spell mute, which can hit, has a low chance. He got it there. Now the issue is Omniscient's considered a heavy enemy. So what happens with a heavy enemy is that's going to fall off very quickly. Yes. He may get 1 or 2 attacks.
And there we see the reset.
And it already fell off.
So this is going to be one of those things where you're definitely going to want to see, you're probably going to see either him quit out because he doesn't have it and he's going to go try to find like the mute blade if you can find that somewhere. Or he's going to try, might try to one-shot it with Dance, but I don't think he does enough damage with the Dance.
I don't even know if you can one-shot this. So I think what he's going to have to do is he's insane mute luck. And only get 1 attack in otherwise.
Yep, I think that's what he's going to have to do.
Or he's going to have to go find Magic Sword to Mute Blade.
Yep.
Or he's going to have to get a party of casters. So he won't reset if you're casting spells on him. Only if you're attacking him with what he considers physical damage, which terrain is also considered physical damage.
He's getting pretty lucky with landing these mutes, though.
Yeah, so this is his good shot to beat this. And even then, it might not be enough.
Yeah. Yeah, Omniscient is one of those bosses that he's not impossible, but he very much tests your party's composition. The same way Minotaur will, since Minotaur can only be hit by physical attacks, like he literally just turns off magic. If you have a party that's really mage reliant, then you can also be kind of put in a tough spot.
He missed 2 mutes in a row, so that's probably going to cause the reset.
There's the reset.
Yeah.
I would not be surprised if No Name drops out, but it looks like he's going to keep going for it.
See, for me right here, I probably would have dropped this one. You're investing a lot of time. Now, let's see if it's one-shottable. If it's one-shottable, it's going to be one-shottable.
There's the flare. So Garlyle just one-shot it.
Yeah, he got a lucky sword dance with hardened and double lance.
Yeah.
On a ninja.
And see what's crazy, although Conjure is not considered a magic ability, so that is why he could not conjure. Yes. So,
and the bracelet's locked here.
So, I mean, No Name really is gonna needs to find something to be able to take this down. I don't know why he's gonna. I mean,
I actually don't know if Conjure sets it off or not.
Conjure does not work.
I didn't know
it's not counted as a magic ability. It's counted just as an ability, so it will trigger his reset.
Okay. See, I haven't tested Conjure on him yet.
Yep, I've run into
that. I've tested a lot of things, not Conjure.
Yep, I have tested that. It's not... I would not be surprised, like, if he's going to go with this mute strats, like, have 2 different people casting mute then. So
well, he'd have to reset to do that too, though.
True. And he's not getting lucky with these...
Without one of the dancer-specific equipment, you're looking at a 25% chance.
And he really needs to get lucky, too, because he has this barbarian that he cannot control.
And he missed, so that's probably going to do this run, unless he did enough damage.
He needs to just reset out and either change his party, which it might have been that he hasn't saved recently either, which could be the other reason why he's afraid to.
This is the Walls Tower boss.
Yep, this is Walls Tower. So I'm wondering if maybe that's it, is he hasn't saved recently either. So he's he doesn't want to lose that time for not saving. Because, like, he's just, unfortunately, he's losing so much time here.
Oh, he's
I did not catch what happened.
he was trying to kill his berserker.
Oh, yeah, I mean, that's kind of where... Which, this really makes me think that he has not saved recently.
Yeah, he was trying to kill his berserker. If he's gonna do that, I would like doing dance. Trying to get a lucky sword dance off on the berserker.
Yeah, berserker has quite a bit of HP. He's not going to go down that quickly.
And he missed again. So he's just getting bad luck now.
Yep.
So over on the other side, we see Biblos. Probably only gonna see him for a minute.
Yep. We're just going to conjure Mega Flare over and over again.
Biblos is super weak to fire. So is the Panda. Both versions are weak to fire.
Now, is Bahamut's considered fire, or is it non-elemental?
No. Flare is considered a non-elemental attack. Now, he does still drain, etc. as a counterattack. Biblos and the Panda are really, really annoying.
Yes, they are. They are annoying, especially when they like to cast armor and just really slow. And you've got a physical heavy team. Like, I tend to run physical heavy. I don't think I've ever actually had a very magic heavy team where, like, when I start off with, like, a black mage or something like that, I always end up going, like, physical does tend to be more common in this game, I think.
So, at the point No Name's at, I almost wish he had reset even if he hadn't saved in, like,
Yeah,
let's say, a boss fight or so.
Yeah,
Because
unless he
this
just
is
has not
taking
saved
a
at all.
lot. This is taking a lot, and he's not getting the luck he needs.
No. So he would have to have just, like, not saved at all, which is already extremely kind of risky.
Hold on. I want to double check something.
So meanwhile, Garlyle, so another thing we can talk about, so the nice thing about this game is that we do not need the exit spell or anything like that, because we do have a custom item that is called the Warp Shard. And as you just saw Garlyle use, what the Warp Shard allows you to do is normally what you'd be using to kind of move between the up to three different worlds that are in the game. However, the other good thing is you can use it just to straight up exit out and run back into the same place that you were before. So it basically works as like an infinite use of exit and things like that. If you are interested in this randomizer, there is the link that will take you to the page where you can actually roll seats for this. It also has a link to the wiki, which has a link to our Discord in it as well. And also some basic guides like how to get started into a seed, kind of how the randomizer kind of works. It's a great community of runners. We're still growing. We get a couple new people every once in a while. So we'd love to see more and more people joining us. It is an excellent randomizer. If you like a randomizer that really kind of tests your knowledge of a game and has a lot of depth for you to learn, this randomizer is right up your path. It'll really challenge you to think about all of your different jobs and all your different abilities that you're going to get. Really kind of look at, well, I've got this job and I've got these abilities. Is this better than if I run this setup for different things? So there's just so much customization that you can get out of this randomizer. Garlyle taking on the Sandworm and making quick work of the Sandworm. Meanwhile, No Name still just trying to truck along on this, and he really just needs to reset out. He does not have the party set up right now. At this point, even if he did not save at all, I still think it would be possibly quicker.
If he hadn't saved at all, then no, it wouldn't be, but, I mean...
But, I mean, he's tried this how many times now? Like, it's like, I don't know, that has to be it, though. He has to have just not saved at all, and now he's at a spot where he's like, well, I haven't saved, and I would be starting back from the very beginning of things.
Yeah, I haven't been able to tell if he's saved or not, but yeah, there goes another one.
This, people, is why you always save before every single boss.
He may just be wanting to actually beat it.
At this point, it's just like pure determination. You can see he's definitely trying to kill off this barbarian, but he just can't. And he's not getting lucky with his mutes, and there goes the barbarian again to reset it.
I actually like him trying to...
I agree with the killing off the barbarian.
I think what he needs to do, though, is he needs to hit him with all three of them.
Yeah. Alright, try to get a sword dance on him. Yep, because there's going to reset again.
Oh, and he even got off because he was a little slow in menuing. It got off before the mute attempt.
Yep, and that is the downside of having a barbarian in a situation like this, is that A, he has no menuing, so if you delay at all in your menuing, he might go before you. So Hopefully he is able to get this soon, but because he is just stuck in a bad loop right here. Meanwhile, Garlyle is going to go to finds Bahamut where the T-Rex normally is in the Moogle Waterway, so it is going to be Spider-Man beaming him.
So the Alistair in the chat was saying something that I was actually confirming before I said anything. The funny thing about Bahamut is Bahamut's not a dragon. He's king of dragons, but he's not considered a dragon in this game at all.
Yep. Yeah,
it's always heavy.
Harpy, thank you so much for the raid tonight. I hope you had a great stream. Welcome everybody. This is the third time we are doing this. This is the Final Fantasy V Career Day Randomizer. Basically, this is Final Fantasy V meets kind of like what Free Enterprise is, where you have key items that we're getting to try to get to our Go Mode items. In this case, our Go Mode items, to go over them again. So we are looking for the 4 tablets, which allow us to go through the path, through the void, to face the big bad, who is Neo X Death in this game. And then we have 2 other key items that we need to find in order to get to World 3 where the void is located, and that is the bracelet and the anti-barrier.
It looks like he already has one or both, because he is going into X's Castle. He definitely has anti-barrier, and I'm pretty sure he got bracelet earlier.
Yeah, he did, because remember the bracelet is where Omniscient was.
He's got at least 2 tablets. What did he just get from Moogle Waterway? Did we see what he got from Bahamut?
Unfortunately, I did not. I was not able to get a good, quick look at it. But yeah, I agree with you. If he's in here, he must have both parts of it.
Well, he probably has both. I know he has both parts. Now, the question is how many tablets.
No Name switched jobs, so he obviously must have saved somewhere. Because now No Name on his character is no longer a barbarian. Okay, it was a Barb's close. Okay, kind of worthless. But see, so he saved somewhere. So I'm wondering why he was working hard to not to run it the way he was.
He was probably just trying to get lucky on it. I mean, it's kind of exactly what it sounds like. This is halfway an RNG fight. He can cure himself. He can regen himself. There's a lot of bad stuff that can go on.
But yeah, like Andre said though, he's been on this like a good 10 minutes now, and you can't tell me that he's gonna have worse luck with this setup than he was having
No, he's probably gonna have way better luck with this setup so far, especially if he gets like a sword dance here.
So there's the flare trigger, so there goes Omniscient down. I'm really confused on why his persistence to not just do this earlier.
And that's something we can ask. Yeah. I mean, every runner has their preferences. Every runner gets stuck on things. I mean, I got stuck on Shiva the other day at the first boss of the Void, which normally you wouldn't think Shiva's that hard, but when you have like a K health and every attack does like 800 to 2 or 3 members of your party, it kind of hurts.
So the other thing I'm wondering, and I don't know how much No Name has been racing, but I do know kind of like coming from Worlds Collide, there is like you kind of get in the mindset and you forget like I want to beat it with this setup, and you kind of lose track that this is a race, and you kind of lose track on how much time you spent trying to beat a boss, where you're just like, oh man, I got so focused on wanting to overcome this challenge that I just couldn't back away from it and do the easier approach to it. Like, it almost kind of feels like it's an insult to your pride, kind of like if you're like, no, I'm going to beat it my way, and you kind of lose track of, oh, but I just gave up 10 minutes to my opponent kind of thing. I'm wondering if maybe some of that happened a little bit as well.
So just a little bit of background. We do have 4 people racing the seed right now. The 2 on screen, and we have 2 off screen. We have Wind Fox from last week and Drive from week 1, both racing in the back. We are in version 0.99 of the randomizer, I believe, or 0.95, somewhere in there, 0.995 maybe. I know there's 9s and 5s in there. So we're about to have a 1.0 drop. The 1.0 drop is actually going to switch up stuff quite a bit. So what the 1.0 drop is going to do is it's going to change up some of the hints and some of the tag locations. So we're going to have a lot tighter groupings. Everything's going to have a minimum 2 and at most 5.
Yeah. So that will make the hints even more impactful, because right now there are some hints that literally affect one place, and you're like, well, that really, okay, that took away 1 check out of 20 that I have to do. So that will help out a good bit. And then also, if we're wanting to get into this randomizer, 1.0 is definitely going to be a great place to start, just because you are going to be kind of kind of working with the most recent version, because this has gone through quite a few changes. Even just in the short time that I've been in the community, like when I first got into this community, I loved it so much, but there wasn't, the development kind of had gone on a bit of a hiatus just while real life was happening. And we started talking about, like, hey, I would really like to race this. This has so much race potential to it. But, like, and just the way it was before, we did start off with a single tablet. We had to find all 4 tablets, and it just made it quite a bit of a longer run. But eventually, the main developer over at Cleartonic came back in. First thing he gave us was this ability to have as many starting tablets as we want. And even just giving us 1 starting tablet, like you're seeing now, has really made the time start coming down. And it's amazing just how by us starting to get interested in the racing of this, we're finding like more and more tech as well. Like just the other day, Karma, when it was you and Winfox playing, I had no idea about the ninja throwing the assassin dagger to one-shot the Minotaur.
Yeah,
So
that one's a niche case. So the assassin dagger triggers Doom, but the only time throw actually kills anything is specifically for Minotaur.
But still, it's just like one of those things that, like, probably I would have never known about, just because I would never have thought about seeing it until I saw it in a race. I'm like, oh, well, that kind of, now I know that. So one more kind of pushing of tech that we get into these races. So it's amazing how, like, once you introduce racing into, like, a randomizer, how much people start finding tech and kind of very optimal things to do.
Yeah, so one thing that I really am enjoying, and I'm kind of part of the testing group that's testing the 1.0 coming out, is the ability to actually push times even lower. So I'm actually in the process of trying to push a sub 130.
Okay.
I've hit 135, which I think is the lowest we've been able to hit so far.
Yeah.
The new seeds are really feel a lot friendlier.
Yeah. I was gonna say, now, is that still with 1 starting tablet, or is that with 0 starting tablets?
It's same settings you're seeing here.
Okay.
It's just with the new hint systems and the new layouts. So what I mean by that is some of the tiering has changed. With the changes coming to Pyramid's loot tiering has been lowered.
Okay.
So those items got shifted, right?
Yep.
So that means the only high tier locations anymore are the end dungeons, Void, and like Trench, Shrine. Still the Pyramid, but it's not all grouped there anymore. So that gives you a lot more. I feel like it gives you a lot more spread across the entire game.
Yep.
It also feels like you find more classes, so you have more options early.
Yeah, and that's a big one too, because you can get kind of bottlenecked in finding a job. And yeah, if we can get times down to like the 130 mark, then you're talking about, like, that's free enterprise levels of time. That's also kind of right around, I think 130 to 2 hours is right around where Worlds Collide, the Final Fantasy VI open world randomizer, is sitting at. So if we can kind of get this randomizer down to kind of around that mark as well, I think more and more people will be interested as well. Because I do know one of the big barriers of entry, if you're like, is that, the randomizer is kind of long. And I'll agree, it is kind of a longer randomizer, which isn't always a bad thing. But if you're wanting to, like, just sit down in the evening, you don't want to have a game that's a 3.5 to 4 hour randomizer seed. So.
And unfortunately, this is gonna kill Gar over here. Boy, Leviathan's a really hard fight.
He is.
It actually
also
survived.
lives, but then nope.
Yep. The Leviathan fight's super hard. So he counterattacks and casts Aqua Rake.
Yep.
Counterattacks with and casts Aqua Rake. Oh, let me add that word in there. But Aqua Rake hits really hard.
Yeah.
If you don't have coral rings, he's gonna go back and try it again, which I don't hate. I would like giving this maybe like 2-3 good attempts. But if it's just too hard, then it's just too hard. And this is where Golem actually would have been real good, because Golem would have prevented the physical damage portion of this. He would have just been fighting against Aqua Rakes.
Meanwhile, we see No Name. He is going to go into the Karnak meteor to see what's waiting for him in there. So he is still kind of doing his World 1 route of things. Now, to be fair, like we did see, he did lose a good bit of time on the Omniscient fight, so he's going to be a little bit behind Garlyle, but hopefully he'll be able to start picking up fairly quickly. He is at that Biblos fight that we saw Garlyle on not too long ago.
So, speaking of the timing, so sub 2s aren't going to be that hard under the new system.
Which is fine, yeah. I don't want this randomizer
noticed
to get too quick, because like right now, Free Enterprise is starting to get to the point where it's extremely quick, and then it's just like, man, I'm sitting down for a 15-minute seed. This is just my personal opinion. I like seeds to sit right about an hour and a half to 2 hours. I think that's kind of the sweet spot, at least for JRPG randomizers. But every person's different too, so.
Yeah. And realistically, I can see this doing... I can see the sub 1 hour and a half, because I've literally gotten that close to it. And I could have done better in that seed, too. So, I mean, there's always things you can optimize and improve. But I've noticed my average is probably around 150 on the new settings.
Yeah, that's a perfectly good time, in my opinion.
Wind Fox is pretty close to that, too. And because me and him have been practicing a lot together. So, I'm going to say that it's pretty daggone close. Like, it's... The sub, if what you're kind of bridging on is how long this game takes, it's definitely coming down from that.
Oh, for sure. Even just this, even before 1.0, us simply adding the one extra tablet has sped things up. And if you're looking for, if you want to do some like early game practicing, and this is originally an original category we had been working on. It was called Castle Percent. Where basically what that was an even more shortened version of this race. And what it was is that you started off with World 2 locked, and it was a race to face X-Death at his castle. So then the only key items that were required to get to go mode were the adamants, which is required to get into World 2, and then the bracelet and the anti-barrier. So if you're also looking, if you're like, hey, I really like this, but I maybe only have like an hour to do it, that is the Castle Percent is another run that a category we've made. We don't race it as much as we did when we were testing it, but it is something that if you're like, hey, I'm looking for someone to do a Castle Percent race with it, I'm sure you can find someone to do it with you as well.
So I think Gar has either forgotten he has bracelet, because he went down to the basement and left. So I think he's either forgotten he has bracelet, or he might not be comfortable. Because he did Walls Tower. He beat Walls Tower way before.
According to his tracker, he does not have anti-barrier.
He walked into the front door, so he 100% has anti-barrier.
It is not, well, at least his, yeah, true. But his tracker does not have anti-barrier on it. So either, I don't know if he doesn't realize that anti-barrier is what's required to get into the door, and the bracelet is what's required to go
upstairs. Yeah. So for anybody who doesn't know, if you try to walk into X-Death's castle, you'll get like this purple bubble flash on your screen, and you'll just get bounced back. Garlyle obviously didn't, because he made it in the door.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I like this. So he's buying Dragoon. Dragoon is normally not a great class. I will say that. The Holy Lance being in Kuza Castle is a huge deal.
Especially if you're taking on X-Death.
X-Death's only weakness is to Holy.
That is why the Holy Spell is huge against him. That is why the Holy Lance is really, really strong against him. What else causes Holy damage?
Those two, and then Holy Sword Magic.
Okay, and Excalibur.
Mm-hmm.
Excalibur will do Holy damage. We see No Name is taking on the Kim Brains. This is a fairly easy fight for him.
Chimera Brain is actually shoutable.
Yep.
That's another petrifiable boss. I think
he
it's
also or like Odin?
He might be doomable.
Picks up the pyramid page, so nothing there.
Everything. He's everything.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I thought he was a pretty generic. I don't even know if in the vanilla game he's even a boss, is he?
So this is something that's more of my opinion than everybody's. Pyramid page I actually love in this version of the randomizer before the changes. It is 29 items, very high tier. About 5 minutes to loot all of it.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I guess it is on that race. It's like, it's that kind of weighing out, is it worth going into that? Okay, so he is one of the Meteor bosses, apparently. Yeah, like, and that's funny, because I remember most of the Meteor bosses, because it's like Titan, it's Poroboros.
He's Lanka Meteor, and normally. So I don't think either one of them has done Lanka yet.
No. Yeah, I don't think any of them has done the Meteor. Meanwhile, Garlyle is going to go do Steamship.
Yeah, he got Steamship Key from Hiryu Valley, from Leviathan. And again, if he's forgotten that he has what he has, this is perfectly okay.
Yeah.
Hopefully he checks his key items eventually, because there's no way he got into Excess Castle doesn't have anti-barrier.
And I can't imagine why, even if he's like, even if he didn't forget, why he would not be going into the castle. Maybe he just doesn't feel he's high enough level.
That's true too. You could be looking for stuff, and that's why I was going to mention Pyramid. Like, Pyramid is something that if I go into World 3 with no Mirage Radar and I have Pyramid page, and I do not feel comfortable with the Void yet, I will hop right into Pyramid.
Yeah. There is still the boss check at the beginning to get some experience off that. And like you said, there's a bunch of item checks in there, so there is that. It's not a horrible play. It's just one you probably won't see a lot of runners do too often.
No, a lot of people actually do not like doing it. So I'm one of the few people who will do it. And it's helped me win seeds before. Like, I mean, Samurai's been in there, Guild Toss has been in there, Mimic's been in there.
If you can find like Freelancer in there, yeah, then you're just like Gucci. Cool.
So we got one of the easiest boss fights in the game on the right side of the screen.
Yep.
Followed by the not so easy Panda.
Yeah. Then on the other side, there's a Panda who's nobody likes, and he's not getting too many sword. He's getting unlucky with these sword dances.
I do like Alistair's comment. A Panda got demoted.
Yeah.
He's at the Biblo spot.
So is this
right?
French
Look for
vanilla?
the boss. Right.
Right.
I don't think so. I don't think so.
Location, wrong sprite color.
If Biblos was in Ifrit's spot, it would be French vanilla. Yeah, he's dead. He's doing that.
Yeah, he's gonna have to reset out.
So Karnak Escape, which you're seeing on the right, this is actually one of the places that are getting its tags changed in 1.0. It's going to become a whole new category called Burning with Muoff Forest. It is generally mid to high tier loot.
Yep.
Not super high tier. We're talking like probably like 4 to 6, with the option to tier up. So the way the tiering in this game works is there's what's called overflow. Let's say this location's tier 4, right? It has the option to drop up to tier 7.
Yep. We do have I think we have it set at 15% overflow. So
15 and 3?
15 and 3. Yep.
3 is the overflow threshold with 15% chance of it being overflow. So I want to say this is probably like a level 5 spot.
Yeah.
And it overflows to 8. Yeah, I've gotten like Brave Blade in here before.
I've got Chicken Blade and Chicken Knife in here.
You want to find all 3 of the monster chests in here.
Yes.
That's the big goal. And White Wind, yeah. White Wind's a really good one if they find blue or blue magic. Or blue mage.
Which, blue mage is one of those things that I never have luck finding. I always end up, like, I'll either get, like, learning, but not, like, blue... I'm just like, why can I never... but I'll start off with blue mage all the time.
So you're about to see him switch straight to Knight, because he just found the Night Crystal followed by Ragnarok.
Yep. Seems pretty good to me. Double gripping? Yeah, I'll do that.
Yeah, he's about to hit like a truck. He's gonna do more damage than the Bahamut cast.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. Yeah, he's gonna double grip Ragnarok all the way.
Why isn't he equipping? Okay, I'm confused. I don't know why he didn't equip Lena. Lena's got a single dagger on right now.
And there's that Yoichi bow just going to town.
And he has Harden sitting somewhere.
It's
not even equipped. There's the chicken knife.
Man, this place was stacked. A chicken knife and a Ragnarok in here. Holy cow.
He's got chicken knife hardened on his ninja. I almost want him to dance.
Yeah, I would rather dance with a chicken knife.
Yeah. This is Artemis. This is This is stacked.
So for anybody who watches Free Enterprise, you'll know they have that rate the armory. Well, if we're gonna rate the armory or rate the castle here, 10 out of 10 so far for this thing. I don't know much.
Defender was the third one. So
yeah, I don't know much else you could ask out of this place. I think it does still proc, even if it's in the offhand.
I think either one of them can proc. I'm not sure though. So Elder Branch is actually in the back of library.
Yep. Which could possibly be needed if he needs to go to Fork Tower. Let's everybody cross your fingers and hope that he does not need to go. Nobody likes Fork Tower. So cross your fingers that he does not need to go there. Yes, to rate that treasury, yeah, that's basically what we just did. We rated the Karnak treasury, and it was top tier. That is, like, look at the damage he's putting out now. Just one shots that Wing Raptor.
The chicken knife is literal insanity. So let's say he had chicken knife on the dancer, right? With any of the dancer gear. And he gets the sword dance. It's probably about 5 to 7K right now.
Yeah.
Might be a little lower than that. Might be 4-ish, but it's still gonna hit like a truck.
Meanwhile,
So he's got Yoichi Bow, Double Grip Ragnarok, and a Chicken Knife Hardened Ninja right now.
Yep. Meanwhile, it looks like No Name is doing some shopping. He is there at... I forget the name of this town off the top of my head. There's so many towns to try to remember.
No, you can't Double Grip Lances.
Nope, you cannot. Oh, is that what he's trying to do?
He still has it equipped. He hasn't picked up the Holy Lance actually yet. I think he might before he goes back into the castle though.
Historia, I think
Yeah,
he lost there.
Yeah, History.
I
think that's what he's thinking. I think he's thinking. Yeah, he's going back to Silk Castle. He's gonna grab the Holy Lance.
Meanwhile, No Name looks like he possibly might go do Flying Lanka.
Yeah, well, he's gonna do. This is Catapult.
Yep.
He's gonna do Catapult into Lanka Meteor, which I don't think we've seen either check.
Yeah, no, definitely not as important to have Conjure Bahamut now. I mean, he might still have one person using it, but he is pretty stacked as far as that goes.
Yeah, he's past it. He just grabbed Sage's Staff. He doesn't have White Mage, so why would you grab?
Game Boy fan, when you say a program that would enforce solo runs more, what do you mean by that? Do you mean like as far as 4 job modes goes, or? Because we do have 1.0 that's coming up, but I don't think it's changing too much as far as like tiering on like items and stuff like that.
So we do have a nice 1.0 edition. Speaking of what Game Boy fan is, we don't have nothing that enforces one hero. We do have a 4 job enforcement that doesn't require the 4 job enforcement. You can have 2 jobs. 1 job, you can do your 4 Berserker runs to your heart's content when 1.0 drops. It doesn't lock you in the menu anymore for not having 4 unique jobs.
Yes. Yeah, so there is the 4 job mode for that. I know at one point there was talk to see about making a flag that allows you to start off with every job at the beginning. Because we had been talking about possibly doing like if you've ever seen Final Fantasy 1's randomizer where they have like a draft that they do for the jobs. That's still something I would like to see, where that way we do like a pick ban phase on what jobs each person can use.
Yeah, that's something in discussion. Me and WinFox actually like that idea a lot too. Yeah. I think Dry did too, so I think we will have that eventually.
Yeah, because all that would be is basically, we don't have a way that we can do it in the seed generation, but it'd basically be a flag that you turn on where you start with every job, and then you just say, okay, well, I'm banning Samurai from you, or Samurai. Okay, well, then I'm banning Chemist. Okay, then we go and we do a pick. Well, I'll pick Black Mage. Well, then I'll pick White Mage, and kind of doing it like that. I think that's another very interesting thing you can do with the job mode that's in this game.
Yeah, the thing I'm thinking about is I think it should be a enforcement on both sides. So I think bans should be
bans would be for both sides, but picking
and
would be like
picks. I think the picks should be both sides. I think you should play the game with the same party because that's the way you're going to get the best race, right?
See, I kind of like it like in a draft sense where it's like, well, I highly value Black Mage, so I want to get that early and I want to deny my opponent Black Mage. But then I'm giving up the next pick where he could pick up White Mage, which unless I find a white ability, then I'm really kind of limiting myself there.
Okay, cool. So I'm guessing you'd have to say that you start with 4 tablets to avoid 4 tower progression. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you started with all 4 tablets, then yeah, you never touch Fork Tower.
Yes. Yeah. Yep.
Oh, wait. Did we get... Why did he turned on battles? But I wonder why.
Maybe he's looking for just some quick experience?
Don't think that's it. I wonder why he turned on battles, though.
Yeah, especially this, because none of these dogs don't have anything really worth stealing.
Wait, where's he at?
I am lost.
That's actually important. Hold on.
He is right outside where Fort Tower would be.
Huh.
Yeah, maybe he's trying to steal a Doomax?
He's got better options, though. He's got a Giant Axe and access to Rune Axe.
I have no idea. Another thing we'll have to ask No Name at the end of the race.
Alright, so we do have Gar. He might have just wanted some more stuff.
Maybe that's
and to finish checking World 1 and 2, because I think he's almost full cleared World 1 and 2.
Yes, I just don't think he has gone
I don't think he's done Lanka yet.
No. Yeah, we know he has not done that.
Because we saw Odin on the other screen.
So
but we are going to get to see the castle. The castle is 5 to 6 tier, I want to say.
So he killed off just to go in and... I'm really interested in what his game plan was there. Meanwhile,
I think he either forgot he had the item, or
I think
he
Alistair might be right, where he's trying to set up the item underflow. He's trying to do an item glitch.
On
yeah, there's the item duplication glitch you can do.
Interesting. I actually don't know anything about this, so
I know of it. I forget how to set it up. Interesting to see what he's trying to duplicate.
He's been attacking that twin lizard a lot. Ooh, we found control.
I can Google search it. Final Fantasy.
So this is an interesting thing. So finding control here, right? This is one of those things that if they had picked up Chemist, they would have free access to Doom after Excess Castle.
So let's see how to do this glitch.
Ooh, red shoes. Okay, I would 100% dance here.
Alright, so the original SNES version and its PlayStation ports, the player must make sure that there is at least one blank space in the party items inventory. The player must equip any character with a weapon or shield item they want to duplicate. When the chosen character comes up into the battle, the character should choose the equip command and select the blank space in their inventory and trade it with one item they want to duplicate. The player thus must win or flee the battle. On the main menu, the player can check the character. Yeah, so he's trying to do the item duplication glitch.
Yeah, so, by the way, on the right side, we found blue ability.
Yeah. Seems pretty good. And red shoes.
Yeah, the red shoes, I would have went Dancer instantly on the red shoes. That's me.
Yeah. I like red shoes or I like rainbow gown. Like, I don't like using tiara as my Dancer item, because I'd rather have a ribbon up top.
Oh, that actually... Yeah, that's good and bad. Ruby Light. Yeah. It's gonna heal him. But on the off chance that Shiba essentially does nothing now.
Yeah, I'm not sure what No Name is trying to do. It looks like he's trying to duplicate the double lance, but
yeah, so double lance
is pretty strong. If he would just go through the game, he'd find there's much better stuff than that.
I mean, he's definitely currently behind.
Yeah. I don't know if he's in the mindset where he's like, I know I'm very far behind, and I'm going to need to do something to really, like, catapult myself up, or what. There's some black flames, but he doesn't have the chemist ability.
But this is still very casual. We're not really hard racing yet. We will have a 1.0 kind of friendly launch tourney. That's going to be double elimination. It's probably going to be about a month after the 1.0 drops to give people some time to practice the new seeding. So if anybody's interested in a potential tournament in this game, that will happen. We've got actually more interest than I thought we would. So we're already starting to get everything set up for it, and it's in the works.
Yeah, so please, if you're interested in this game, come join us. 1.0 is going to be really a great time to hop into this, because you'll have a much more refined hint system that should make seeds go a lot faster. So I highly encourage anybody who's interested in this, if you like randomizers, if you like... Yeah, so see, he has 255 silver bows.
So maybe he just wants a ton of money.
Yeah. Maybe that's what it is. He's just gonna buy... If only he had Gil Toss. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see what he does with all this money, though. Because, I mean, it's gonna really, really help him with, like, money, but he's gonna be pretty far behind now.
Yeah, so we're gonna do normal race settings like you're seeing here for the 1.0 tournament, but the big difference is, like I said, the hints. So, Black Mage Crystal and Moogle suit off Carbuncle. Okay, so this is the big debate. What would you do finding Moogle suit here?
If I'm at where he's at here, I would still go through and finish Exdeath Castle. Otherwise, I would head straight to go see what's at Moogle Suit, because there's just so much high power stuff there.
Yeah, so I agree with you. So if Carbuncle spot or past, I think you continue. If you find it in the basement, you just bail out and
you just hop out of there so fast. But yeah, I agree with him finishing up the tower, just because you're this far into it. What you're going to find in there is probably not going to make this fight a lot easier, so just get it done.
Yeah, so your Moogle Suit is going to be an immediate check, but hopefully he knows that after he beats X6 Castle, he has to actually Warp Shard back to World 2.
Yeah.
Or else he won't be able to enter the Moogle Village. That's something just with the programming we haven't been able to fix, I don't think, yet. It might not even be fixable. It might be something hard in the coding. But for some reason, when you get warped out of X6 Castle back into World 2, you can't enter Moogle Village.
Yeah, there is some weird coding things that come up in this. Like, I know, if you try, if you tried to go into, oh, that's unfortunate. If you try to go into, like, Fork Tower and still have Garlyle, like, it just hard locks the game. So, like, that's why they had to program it the way that you have to go do Move Forest and everything. So there is stuff like that. I'm still interested on, like, kind of No Name's, kind of the routing that he's taking.
So, like, no routing in this game is incorrect. Everybody has their own routing, whether you do a lot of World 1 routing, World 1 into World 2, World 2 into World 1. There's a lot of different advantages you can get either way. You can get all your shopping done first, you can go do bosses first.
Yeah.
That's kind of another reason I really like it. There is no wrong answer. Sometimes your answer is the right answer. Sometimes another way is faster.
Yeah, it's just a little bit, I guess it kind of goes back to that point before where you said, like, this isn't super hardcore racing. So I'm wondering if No Name's kind of not as used to being in a racing environment than normal, where he's used to kind of playing the way he plays off stream in his own seeds. Because it is a little bit of a different mindset when you're racing. Like, you do kind of start going, okay, is this one check that's in this one village that's normally out of the way worth the time commitment that's going to put into it? So that might be a little bit what we're seeing here, where it's kind of a newer setting for him, and he's kind of getting used to, like, different race strategies, things like that. But again, it's not super hardcore. We just want to show off two racers who are willing to be on stream showing off this randomizer. So
yeah, and we're trying to showcase different runners in our community every time we're on here, right? We're every 2 weeks. We actually aren't a huge community that actively do the racing part of this. No. So if you want to be featured, come learn and run. We'll be happy to feature you. We're probably gonna have to start repeating if we don't get a few new people.
Yeah, I think so far there's probably like 8 of us that are active in the kind of racing side of things, whereas there's quite a few more people who will do just normal runs of it on their own free time. But yeah, there's probably about 8 of us who are active runners who are willing to go on stream and run it. We would love to grow that community more. We would like to kind of maybe not get up to the levels of Worlds Collide or Free Enterprise are, but we would like to have a larger racing community scene where we can start showing it off. I am eventually going to start talking to the people of the Worlds Collide and Free Enterprise communities, because it would be really fun, I think, to do a relay race of all of these. Like a relay race of the 3 randomizers, especially now that we're getting each one down to a 2-hour commitment, basically, to kind of do a relay race of kind of some of the top runners from each community. So
that is a gross setup.
I did not see what he has.
With chicken knife, dancer with 2-handed chicken knife and dancing dagger for now.
That will do it. That's going to put out a lot of damage.
Oh, man. So...
Oh, Atmos. I just love the Atmos fight, because it's just like, look, one of you is going to have to die and get sucked up into this thing while we beat this guy to death. Who wants to be at this time?
It's one of the easiest fights. It's just kind of long and boring, to be fair.
Yeah, that's just it. It's like... It's really, the only thing is it's a race against time to stop your one person from getting sucked in so that he doesn't kill another person.
Yeah, so I got a little sidetracked. So we are talking about a 1.0 tournament while we're watching them battle 2 different bosses. We got Xeth on one side and Atmos dying on the other side. We are talking about a 1.0 tournament. The 1.0 changes. Like I said, Karnak and Muar are going to get a new tag called Burning. Odin and Antlion are going to move to the Cave tag. We have the Solitary Island in World 3, which is the one, the shrine in the middle of the bridge, is going to move to the bridge tag to be paired with Big Bridge. The Wind Shrine's actually going to drop its tag completely. It's not going to have a tag at all, since most people just do Wind Shrine regardless. Yeah, it's going to be tagless, because it's really good early items, and the crystal shards you get are all usually really high tier.
And just for anybody who's wondering, when we say tag, we're referring to the tag on the hint system. So
for the
there will
hint
be times
system,
where like the hint says, they say burning areas hold no keys of value. So what that means is that there's not going to be a key progression item or just like a key item in either Karnak Castle or in Mua Forest. So you know, okay, I don't need to go check those. You're doing it then if you go to those, it's just purely for EXP basically.
Let's see. The Guardian Forest fight, which is the one outside the pyramid, is going to move to the top of the pyramid. So the pyramid is going to have a actual purpose now. The Guardian Forest just won't be able to enter anymore.
Okay, that makes sense.
And then Go-Go is moving to underwater.
Okay.
So Underwater Wall Tower is actually going to be underwater.
The Go-Go fight's always fun to run into too, because like if you need to run to the bathroom or you need to go get a snack real quick, Go-Go is there for you. He's just like, all right, set down that controller. I'll see you in a little bit.
Yeah,
so Garlyle making quick work of X-Death here.
Yeah, you get two options for Go-Go. You either find them early, at which point you
can
either
decide
try
if you
to one-shot him. You try to one-shot him and save 3 minutes, or you just wait the 3 minutes, get your 200 ABP. Like you said, go get a drink, go to the bathroom real quick.
There's a nice little timeout in the middle of like a long run where you're just like, or in the middle of a race, you're just like, man, I really need to go to the bathroom. Oh, hi, Go-Go. Perfect timing. X-Death just doing a lot of dispelling, which is like, you're happy with that. If he's just going to dispel you, and you've got kind of the setup that Garlyle has here with like the Holy Lance and Ragnarok and everything, you're going to make quick work. Yeah, he's already doing 9k sword dances here, so that'll make quick work of pretty much anybody. Yeah, he's already doing 10k damage, basically per sword dance with Lena. So meanwhile, No Name is taking on the Stalkers. Hopefully he'll have a better time of it now. We did see he had to reset out of it earlier. Fingers crossed. Meanwhile, Garlyle making quick work of X-Death. Still, I think, one of the best sprites in this entire game. But yep, down he goes. So he has now... So No Name is just going to use the Bahamut strats. He's probably going to one-shot them now, so they won't do their Blaze. Yeah, should be dead. If not, I'm going to be surprised. But meanwhile, Garlyle has now unlocked World 3. He is going to try to go to Moogle Village. Let's see if he remembers, like what we said, that he actually has to use the Warp Shard to get into it. Which I don't know if he knows that like that weird programming thing. And I don't think he does, because he's running back and forth on it. Okay, maybe... he's checking his key items. Oh, this hurts so much. This is unfortunately just one of the weird things about the programming, that you need to use the Warp Shard. Okay, now he's going to do it, and hopefully he remembers it. But yeah, you have to use the Warp Shard to go into it to kind of reset the logic in the randomizer, which, good thing he remembered and didn't just give up on trying to figure it out, because that would have been a real shame. But we'll get to see all of the juicy key items that are going to come out of Moogle Village now. So
I'm excited for this. This is one of my favorite places in the game to loot.
It's a Moogle.
Suit,
yeah. I love that.
Then you gotta go make the other Moogle fall in love with you, which is kind of awkward.
Yeah, and then you just leave. You just leave her. You're just, or them. Well, you...
Yeah, we don't know what gender it is, so we're just gonna say you make this Moogle fall in love with you.
Yeah,
you steal their Black Magic 6 ability, which is a really good ability, and then you're just like, peace.
Yeah, you just leave that poor Moogle.
Ooh, Samurai Gill Toss, the Dragoon Spear, a Genji Glove.
Crystal Armor.
Alright. So, the busted strat at the end of the game, Gill Toss with Chemist is on the table. Now, neither one of them has picked up Chemist.
Or even just Gill Toss by itself.
Well, you want to have the levels. So, you either need the Heroic Song from Bard or Combine. to get the levels.
Yes, which, by the way, is always going to be good. Bard, you'd be surprised on how good it is. So, always suggest that.
The Bard has a lot of niche uses. So,
It really
Speed Song
does.
is really good. Heroic Song is really good. Love Song is really good for Bahamut. You can literally stun lock Bahamut with Love Song.
Yeah, the Bard songs are all... does Galuf have Mime Sprite in this randomizer? I believe he does.
Yes.
Yeah.
So Galuf has a sprite for every class, even though he doesn't technically exist. You can end the game with Galuf.
Yep. You're not required. If you're not required to go do Mua Forest or Twin Fork or Twin Tower, you can actually end the game with Galuf.
And if you just hate Galuf, you can actually create seeds without him.
Yep.
Okay. You notice he wrote down Chemist and Tool. He didn't write down what shop, but he went back and bought it as soon as he found Samurai.
So yeah, now Garlyle's basically going to be doing the strats that you did last time, where he's probably going to use heroic potions or Samson power, level up the Samurai basically, and then have Samurai guild toss to victory.
Yeah, it's the easiest strat.
It is.
So it's by far the easiest way to end this game. You do have to have a lot of money. He's nowhere close to that yet.
Yep.
You need around. I did calculations one day. It's either 160 or 180.
Yep, it's fairly up there. But
so the way it's calculated... Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say, but most of the time, by the time you're ready to take them on, you've got a lot of excess equipment that you can normally just go sell off everything.
Yeah, so it's calculated by level times 50 times the number of objects you're hitting. So for Tree X Death, you're doing 99 times 50 times 1. So about 5,000. And you're doing that 5 times to kill him. So 25,000 gil just for that fight. And then you need 20,000 a throw, and you need 7 of those. So you need 165k to beat the fight without Mime. Yep.
And it just so happens that we are finding both Samurai and Guild Toss in this seed as well. It is just kind of one of those, it's so good, there's no reason not to use it kind of strategies. Just make a quick work of these bosses.
The chicken knife is so stupid.
But it doesn't mean in every seed that we will have this exact same setup. It's just kind of a coincidence that now, like, 2 races back-to-back, we'll have had that kind of setup to be viable, but there's definitely seeds where you just won't find the Samurai at all. Now, we do enforce that all the jobs are somewhere in the seed, but just because Samurai is somewhere doesn't mean it's not in a random chest that you normally would not check.
Yeah, and another real comparable strategy that I've been liking lately is if you find X Magic and Summoner, and you get Sildra, that makes short work too. So you can do
X Magic Sildra and then just have Mimes duplicate it over and over again.
And that ends the fight very quickly if you use Elemental Power with Combine.
Yep. Or I've done Mime with X Magic Bahamut before, so I just spammed Bahamut over and over again. Mime is extremely
super mana intensive. That's just super mana intensive.
Well, yeah, so I had the one summoner. The one summoner had a gold hairpin, so she could do it, and then literally it was just 3 other Mimes just like mimicking it over and over and over again. Because Mime does not require MP.
Mime is a great class, but it takes some setup.
It does,
So, Mime and Freelancer, it might be the same in vanilla. Oh, so we just found out where I think the last tablet is.
I did not see what the hint said.
Zazov Fleet is on the path to Void.
That possibly could be the last tablet, or it could mean that one of the other Path to the Voids leads to Zazov Fleet, which is on the Path of the Void as well.
Well, I don't think we found Subkey either, so we're still missing Subkey for Barrier Tower.
True.
So we know both things in World 2 are Path to Void. Both the Zazov Fleet and the Barrier Tower. And we don't have the item for either. Yeah. So it's Air Knife, Megas Rod, and then Elemental Power, the mix. Which is Side Drop Antidote. Let's see how good I am off the top of my head. Nope. Revivify Drop. Close. Revivify, I drop. Yeah, so if you ever pull up the mix page from Final Fantasy V, anytime it says Holy Water, that's Revivify. But yeah, I'll put it this way. It leveled up to 99 like you normally would for the Guild Toss strat, and then spamming X-Magic double Sildra. I was doing 6.5k per Sildra cast on Ned. So that's 13,000 damage per caster. So it ends it very, very quickly. I think it ended it in 5 sets of casts.
Alright, I'm back.
Come back. We're seeing Garlyle clean up some stuff while we're seeing No Name get a bite to eat.
I was gonna say, where is No Name?
I think it does bypass the level cap, but you can't see it bypass the level cap. So it's kind of like a gauge thing. We usually only go up to 99 or close to 99. Like if I'm at level 40, I'll do 6 casts. So I might technically go a little over, but let's see with his equip. Oh, the slash ability was back here. Ooh. Without Odin, that's actually a pretty good ability to find.
Alright, I'm gonna try. I'm hearing from a birdie on the Random Mania team that I can do something with the overlay to get some Final Fantasy V icons on there. But I'm afraid to do it mid-race. I'm like really kind of hesitant to do it.
So when you're over leveled and I've already been to World 3, this is what happens when you go back to World 1. This is the actual, so pretty much anything you think Gran that's glitchable in this game is probably glitchable in this version. This is, the ROM is built off the Japanese, I think it's the 1.1? No, it's the Japanese original with the RPG version 1.1 patch. So pretty much before they edited out anything that was broken.
Yeah, this is the raw original form. And if you do get the JPY, the RPGE 1.1 patch does work perfectly fine. That's what you see a lot of the runners use.
Yeah, that's what I use. And some of the translations we're trying to fix.
Yeah, like the Excalibur, and we're changing that over to Excalibur.
We fixed that one already.
Yeah.
That one's already done. Excalibur is already in the game. The other ones they're talking about doing is Capture to Mug, because most people just see Capture and don't realize what it does. And Mediator to either Trainer or Beastmaster to be more in line with other games. That's something that's going to come in the future, though. It's not coming in 1.0. I think we're compiling a list of requested text changes.
Yeah, because I do know there is.
Like I want Diamond to be time, just time 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yeah. Boros Paladin. So wish there was a version of the randomizer for FF5A. There's not a randomizer like this version. There is a ancient cave mode randomizer for Final Fantasy V Advance. But that it works more like an ancient cave game if you've ever played one of those before. It's not quite like a open world randomizer like this. I don't think as far as our community there's been much like desire for that. And I think it would take an entirely different development cycle to go through to get that version of it. So I don't know if there's... It probably would not be from the developer who did this. It might have to be from a different developer. But there is Final Fantasy V Advanced Ancient Castle if you're still interested in a type of randomizer for that. I don't think I've ever played Final Fantasy V Advanced.
I have not either. So right now you're looking at Garlyle and Mual Forest. This is one of the more confusing places to loot. The best thing you can do is remember the number of chests in each location. Each zone has its own number. It goes 2, 3, 4, 3. So unless he goes back down to the bottom corner, he's going to miss one. He's going back down though. And then he's got one at the top. Yeah, there's not too much difference, and we added some stuff to. They've added some extra
bosses.
Bosses, I would say. They've added something called a portal boss to this game, just like the Final Fantasy Advance had extra bosses. This one does too. They have 3 different bosses. They're fully programmed, fully unique.
Yes, and they are basically used as an alternative to. So if you want an alternative, like if you get tired of killing X-Death every single time, you can actually kill one of the portal bosses instead to basically be the end of the game. So that is another option. Like if we decide, hey, let's do a race where we have to kill the portal bosses at the end, that is another alternative that we can do with this. So that's kind of fun. Yeah, Slumber Mage is there now. We now have the Rain Senshi and the Dragon Triad. Are the other 2 new portal bosses that they've added.
And if you're really curious, if you go back to the first week we ran this, which was a month ago now.
Yep.
Dry actually killed the Dragon Clan on stream.
Yes.
While
don't
he was
think
waiting
we've
on
seen
his
the
opponent
others,
to finish.
but yeah, he did do that one. So that was fun to see. So we've got stuff like that. Like I said, that's one of the great things about this randomizer is we have a lot of different fun things we can do with it. Earlier we had talked about like the class draft as a way we can race this.
We're also talking about bingo.
Yeah, there's bingos we can do with this. There is, like we said, there's the castle percent if you want a much shorter, more compact race. There's that you can do for this. Like we said, there's portal bosses, so there's a lot of fun things you can do with Final Fantasy V as a randomizer.
We're talking about bingos with stuff like find all 4 Gilgameshes.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of stuff you can do. You can find the 4 Gilgameshes. You can do the standard stuff like beat this boss, or like find this boss and kill them. You can do like the find this item, stuff like that. So there's a lot of fun things you can do, like you can do with a lot of different randomizers. So in the future, I would like this to show off a portal boss run. Where instead of doing X-Death, you take on the portal bosses. Just because they're always fun to show off. But I'm also a sucker. Neo X-Death, I think, is maybe one of the coolest sprites for a boss they've ever done. Like, only right behind Kefka, like God Mode Kefka. Wow, that liquid flame does some damage.
His FF4 sprite is just... Well, it's in the Guardian spot. So, it's in a spot where it's normally 4 enemies, and they're fairly high level. That chicken knife, though. Oh my god.
Yeah, chicken knife is always just going to do so much damage. And we can see Bart's... Now, okay, Garlyle, why did you have to change the name of the main protag? His name's not Bart's, it's Butts.
Yeah, Code of the Void. I rename my Barts every time. I do Butts, Boots, Nuts.
Okay, it is Bats, okay.
Klutz.
I just
It's
love how
that day.
the actual translation is Butts, and you're just like, this is perfect.
Yeah, so this is gonna have a lot of health.
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah, because each crystal has quite a bit of health, and now it's just being all combined into one boss.
So if you're wondering what's happening, he swaps every time he's hit, and every time he swaps, he does a attack.
Yep.
If he's in his hand form, he does fire whatever to a single target, and if he's not, if he's in tornado, he does magnet. If he's in human form, he does the flame wall.
Yeah. Yeah, Liquid Flame can actually be a pretty annoying boss at times.
Doesn't trigger off of mystery walls, luckily.
Now we do say, yeah, the Kara to Kryl, that's another one of those like translation things. So I know some people have, that's like in the Discord, always people have people saying like, oh, well, what is Kryl set up as? I'm like, who the heck is Kryl? Like, I know her as Kara, if that's what you're talking about.
So for Garlyle, we no longer have Galuf.
Galuf bit the dust.
And funny enough, Kara/Krill assumed all the abilities, including being dead, as soon as she joined the party.
If you've never seen, there's a great YouTube series called Final Fantasy in a Nutshell. And
All the nutshells are good.
yeah, Final Fantasy V in a nutshell is so funny because it's just like, here, my granddaughter will go with you. She can use all of my equipment, has all of my abilities. And it's just like, works for me. Thanks, old man.
I used to watch the Monster Hunter versions.
I've not seen the Monster Hunter. I watch the Final Fantasy ones pretty often, just because they're so funny and so accurate to the games. Where is Garlyle heading off to? Oh, he's heading off to the Odin Cave, which we have removed the timer from.
So he's got Odin Cave, and he might only have this and Fork Tower left.
So No Name is going to hit his Yahtzee here.
I think he's hoping that he doesn't have to do Fork Tower.
Yeah, none of us likes doing Fork Tower.
And so for anybody that doesn't know, Fork Tower is a tower like it says, but you have to split your party. You normally send 2 people each way, and normally it's into Omniscient and Minotauros. One that locks out magic, one that locks out physical. Well, since any boss can be up there, it can be really rude sometimes.
You can run into a Bahamut with a party of 2.
Yeah, we have not seen Guardians.
Nope.
We have not seen Triplets.
Nope.
We have not seen... we haven't seen Minotauros. We haven't seen Apocalypse. We haven't seen Necro.
Yeah, we've not seen some of the scary bosses.
There's a lot of bosses that, even with his current party setup, it would be really rough.
So No Name has found his Ragnarok.
We have seen Odin. Odin was on the catapult. He was on catapult.
Yes. No Name, like I said, has picked up his Ragnarok, so he's gotten that. Hopefully he'll find the chicken knife and everything else up here as well.
Yeah,
so I think he just found it.
If you wonder why I call it catapult, that's what it's referred to in the hints.
Yeah.
Ramuh hits like a truck here. Too bad he doesn't have show. No. Ramuh's just deathable.
Yeah, he is just deathable. He has Break Blade. Yeah, he does not have Break Blade. He has Break, but I don't think he has a high enough level magic to use it.
He's Odinable, Doomable, and this is where I was talking about if he already had Combine and went to go farm those, since he has Control, he went to go farm some Dark Matters. He could have just threw a potion at the boss on turn 1 and killed it.
Yep. just shows you how powerful. And what's funny is, like, technically, Chemist is lower tier than Samurai, just because it requires you to find the items to make Combine good. But overall, I feel like Chemist is more viable in more different positions than Samurai is. Hopefully he'll be able to get to this Rama fight without losing any more people. Oh, there he goes. One last hit and we'll drop him. So now it looks like No Name has found his chicken knife and everything, so he'll be equipping that up. And finally, he goes down. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that was a hard fight and that was a good fight.
And just a double lance for it looked like, so nothing too exciting there.
Which means I'm pretty sure he only has Fork Tower left. You see him like running back and forth like, oh no. But yeah, there's some good bosses he hasn't seen too. I don't think we've seen Ifrit, which Ifrit's very defeatable. I don't think
he has the submarine key yet.
We've seen Sandworm. No, they don't have sub key. That's one of the issues. They don't have sub key. They don't have Hiryu's Call.
Yep, it looks like this was a Forked Tower required seed.
I'm trying to think. If we haven't seen anything. Because wait, have we seen Adamantite?
Yes. I forget where it was, but I have seen it.
Oh wait, because Flying Longer Ruins was on path.
Yes, it was.
Because I don't remember seeing either one of them do it yet. I don't think.
Yeah, I don't think I've seen either one of them do it either. I can look and see on their trackers to see if I see anything. Garlyle shows that he has not done it, I don't think. His tracker's a little bit different than what I used to see.
Does he have it?
Does he have what?
Does he have the adamantite listed?
I believe I see him having it. Maybe he doesn't. No, he does not have it checked.
Okay. So it may just be they don't have it.
Yeah.
So it may be adamantite's missing, sandworm bait.
Yeah, it might be that whatever behind this is what's kind of blocking it up. So.
Oh, that's actually really good. So if he remembers my trick from last week, if Minotaurus is in either one of these spots, Assassin Dagger he just found on the left side.
Which we'll have to see if he remembers. I mean, we talked about it a lot when we first saw it, so we'll have to see if he does remember it.
Yeah. He fought the Marigine spot, Guardian Tree, which is one of the spots going away in 1.0. They found Shrine Page. I don't think he done Shrine.
No.
Shrine Page is accessible.
Let me look.
They 100% found Shrine Page. That was on the Lanka boss.
So he has the Falls page and he has the Shrine page.
Which Falls page requires subkey.
Yeah, Falls page.
I don't hate this play though. There's 2 key items here.
Yeah.
It doubles your chances.
And if you get lucky and it's not a bad boss here, yeah, you can possibly get a lot that opens up out of this. Hey, go. So that's one easy boss. So we will see Garlyle in about 3 minutes from now. Meanwhile, it looks like No Name is doing some last-minute shopping. He is about to go do Moogle Waterway. We'll just enjoy this nice, cheerful music. I will say, I don't know what happened from Go-Go from Final Fantasy V to 6. Go-Go looks from looking like this, which is pretty cool looking, to the Go-Go that's in... Now, granted, the Go-Go in Final Fantasy VI is okay looking, but he's not nearly as dapper as this Go-Go. So it's like, I don't know if he did a wardrobe change.
So the cool and bad part about this is if he dies to the next boss, he has to redo this.
Yes.
The good part is he only has to send one person over here to sit for 3 minutes.
Yeah.
So you can technically have a team of 3 for the other side if needed.
Yeah, a 3-1 split is not horrible. You could probably get it done. Yeah, either mutated through transferring through the rift, or maybe it's the time that he spent in the Zone Eater's stomach that kind of just ruined his clothes and gave him just the brown robes that he has. No Name is going to be taking on the Bahamut, so he does have X-Fight on his ninja, so he's putting out fairly solid damage. And that X-Fight will actually ignore the chicken fights must run. You can see just one-shots the Bahamut there.
That's an important thing about X-Fight. So X-Fight ignores blind, and it ignores chicken knife's attacks.
Yep.
So you can be blinded, and you can still X-Fight to your heart's content. You'll never miss.
Alright, Go-Go gives up. You've mimicked him too well. And it looks like he is going to be doing... Okay, so he's just running out of the Moogle Waterway. Yeah, that's right. He does not have the Moogle suit just yet.
Unsure if this is coming in 1.0, but there was some talk about events being edited. And this was something that Clear was talking about editing at one point. I don't know if he is editing the Go-Go fight, but it's potential that the Go-Go fight could be shortened.
To me, it's a good time to run, go to the bathroom, go get a snack. Like I said, I like it.
I could see it going down by a minute.
It's like a nice intermission in the middle of the race.
I could see it going down by a minute. I could see it being like 2 minutes.
So he gets Sandworm Bait, so there's one key item.
Sandworm Bait.
Let's see who's waiting for us at the other
Also,
location.
Magic Sword 6. Magic Sword 6 is really good too.
Yes, that allows you to use Break Blade and all the others. Who is waiting? Abductor. Okay, this is easy.
Okay, well, Abductor is easy, but he doesn't have Shout.
No.
If he had Shout, it's one shot.
Yeah. If he had Slash, it's one shot as well.
He's dead.
Uh-oh.
I'm pretty sure he's not gonna beat this.
No Name is taking on Gilgamesh 4. He'll make
it
of
lucky.
that.
This is a about 20k HP spot. And most of the damage he did, he just healed back. With that vampire.
Yeah, that's gonna be rough.
Yeah.
So we're probably gonna see the 3-1 party split.
With a redo on Go-Go.
Kill this Abductor.
Mm-mm.
Which hopefully he saved recently. Yeah, not even
I'm
with...
pretty sure he saved outside. It's an easy boss if you bring Shoat. He's petrifiable, so he dies in one shot to break or Shoat.
And it did look like I saw that, yeah, Shoat got picked up by No Name from
Yeah,
down in
yeah.
the basement, so I wonder...
Garlyle has it,
Oh, he does,
but I
just
don't
has
know
a
if they
summon
found
ability.
Summon 3. I don't know if they found Summon 3 or higher yet.
That's got to be it. I can't imagine why Garlyle would not be using it if he had it.
They do have Break Blade, however.
And he has the Magic Sword 6 before, although he gets that from the fight with...
You actually can menu before the second fight triggers.
Can you?
Yes.
I did not know that.
No, Summon 4 is in Fork Tower. So we have access to 2 different forms of Shoating. So you're going to see him price in 3 people left. Yeah, there it goes.
Yeah, that's what I would do.
Krill's going to go all by herself on the right side to fight this Mimic. The hard mind fight.
Is it really considered fighting this Mimic? To have a staring contest with this Mimic?
Hey, it's a contest, right?
Yeah, I guess. That's gotta be the most boring thing ever. You're just like sitting there looking at each other and so how's your week been going? Yeah, you know, I've been in this tower for quite a while now. I don't got too many places to go.
Speaking of prototypes, Grant, I've become a big fan of controlling them and making them explode themselves.
All the fun things you can do with prototypes.
They're the ones that you can farm dark matter off of.
Yes, they are, which makes them quite always a good find.
Yeah, Shoat tends to pop up multiple times in more than one seed.
Yeah, he really does.
We actually have a seed of the week named Too Many Shoats. I think it dropped like 6 times.
Yeah, it's always funny where you'll just find it and you're like, really, I did not need this many Shoats. And you can't sell them either. So it's just like, oh, wish this could have been anything else but this.
So if Gar knows, then Gar will either menu to equip Summon and Magic Sword.
That's what I would do if he knows about it, like you said.
Yeah, I would drop Double Grip and pop on Magic Sword because they definitely have Break Blade. We saw him buy it. It was in that Muah 4 shop.
Yeah, those 3, like Artemis said, those 3 do tend to pop up quite a bit. We were just like, oh, another one. All right, so take that.
I'm never sad. I'm never sad about Golem and Shoat the first time.
Nope, those are always a good find. They do quite a lot for you, so.
I'm gonna actually check in on our other 2 runners.
Nice, Garlyle, stay hydrated. So he is gonna run to go grab a drink of water. Looks like. So yes, everybody stay hydrated, or if you have not gotten up to stretch, get up and stretch a little bit, because you got about a little bit of time on Garlyle's stream. Yep, so pound go break. There you go.
Interestingly, we have, just to let you guys know what's happening behind the scenes, we have 2 other runners, Windfox 470 and Drylizer, or Dryzelizer, sorry.
Yeah, I always say it's
Dryza. So just in case you want to look them up on Twitch, they're both running as well. They're both in the Flying Lonka Ruins, so they're both in the same spot. Windfox has the sub-key marked.
Ah. I'm wondering where it was then.
Yeah, he has sub-key. They both have Adamantite. I'm trying to see if they have anything else different.
Interesting.
Does not appear so. It looks like only one of them has the sub-key, though. Only Windfox.
Yeah, I don't know where it would have been then, because I don't think
unless he's already finished Fork Tower.
That it
and
could
it's on
be.
the left side.
Well, I guess we'll find out here in a second.
Yeah, because I didn't see... Actually, I can tell you, is he marking bosses he's beat? I think he's marking bosses he's beat. Let me see what he's got.
So No Name is taking on the Shiva fight here in the castle, so he should make fairly quick work of this. His team is starting to get pretty powerful as well. He's got the Dancer that should have the Chicken Blade. He
doesn't have those bosses marked. He doesn't have those bosses marked, so I don't know where he got it. Or if maybe he mismarked it. Oh no, he didn't mismark it. He's in Barrier Tower right now.
Interesting. He must have, yeah, maybe he did a quick Fork Tower.
Either it's Fork Tower or it's in the back of the Adamantite check I was talking about. I'm gonna see it on Dry side if it is. which is going to be an interesting piece of knowledge for us on the stream too.
Yep, so there's the Mystic Sword 6 and the Sandworm bait again that we saw from Garlyle. So now, see if he knows that he can menu here.
Neither one of them have Sandworm bait, so neither one of them's completed this yet.
So then we know it's not up here.
Yeah, I'm wanting to say he didn't menu.
And now he has Shoat, so he is going to Demon's Eye Abductor.
Oh, he did have Shoat ready to go, so that's fine. He's going to one-shot Abductor. Bye.
Yeah, quick work of him. So now I'm really interested to know where that... Yeah, just a Genji helmet and a Partisan there, so... Yeah, it has to maybe be the Shrine. The Solitary Island, the Lonely Island Shrine.
Oh, the Shrine page, yeah. I don't know if they've done that or not yet, and they may have.
Yeah, so the new name for that shrine is the Lonely Island Shrine, by the way. It is the Lonely Island Shrine.
Which, does he remember he has that? He's going to do Sandworm bait, which is fine.
Yeah, quick check. Boss is right there.
Like
you don't have to go. Yeah.
This could be something like Here You Skull.
So No Name has picked up his Moogle suit, and we'll see if he keeps going with it or if he is going to bounce out.
There's always that hard debate when you find it right there.
Yeah, you're just like, oh, do I go for it? I think he's going to stay and finish up the tower. I would have. I especially would if I was No Name, because I know I'm probably behind after that time I spent Omniscient. So I'd probably just say I can't slow down. Garlyle finds Shoat here, who is not.
Oh.
Now, thankfully, it's fairly early.
Bad fight, but he's gonna one-shot it with a dance.
Yeah, not that dance though.
No, but I don't think that one triggers the. No, it doesn't trigger the counterattack, so we're good.
So Grandra, yes, Aqua Rake and the Water Scroll are the only things that and Leviathan. Yes, Artemis was right. Leviathan, only things that cause water damage, because Sildra is wind damage. So.
First drain, not for much.
And one-shots it with that jump.
Dragon Spear is pretty strong.
Meanwhile, No Name taking on Helicarnasso on the...
Mirage Raider.
That's a good pickup, but it's not what he probably wants to be seeing now. Really hope he goes... It looks like he's probably going to go either do Mirage right now, or he's going to go
Mirage.
Yeah, probably Mirage.
I don't know if he's going to do Shrine before Bahamut, though.
He's going to do that as probably his last check.
He might not even remember he has Shrine page at this point.
Yeah.
But, yeah. We're seeing some interesting decisions. Like I said, we're seeing,
Flare
different
3,
routes
X-Zone.
Oh, so Dry, it probably was in Adamantite, because Dry has it now, too. He just doesn't have it marked. He's in Barrier Tower as well.
So where do we think that it was?
It's either Shrine or the... Solitary Island, there it is.
Okay, so it is Flying Locker. So it is the Lonely Island.
Yep, more than likely. Oh, he missed talking to that dude. He either needs to wait until he goes to the back or catch him. Cave, no cave, so Moogle Waterway was not the answer. Too bad they've already done it.
Yep, that's the other bad. Like, when you get those hints where it's just like, this is no keys about it, you're like, well, our area was there, so.
Ooh,
White Mage and Magic Knight, two good crystals to find.
I don't... See, he took White Mage this late. I don't think I'd take White Mage this late.
I think I would still, just to make sure that you can use kind of some of the high-end white magic abilities that you get just to be safe. I always like having a White Mage to be safe.
It runs out of some of its utility late, though. So, a lot of what you're trying to do later in the game is not heal through fights. Now, Holy being right there helps, but you're not trying... he didn't buy Heroic either. You're not trying to heal through the fight. You're not. You're trying to cheese the fight. You're hoping that it's Odinable. You're hoping that it's doomable. You want those things. I just wouldn't have picked it up.
I don't just think there's those times where I want to have the White Mage just to be safe, though. Maybe it's just me. It's just kind of a personal thing where, like, I just feel a little bit safer knowing I have White Mage there just in case, but...
And it might be a safety thing. It might be,
Blue Mage
wanting to help.
And White 6. Now that's when you hate to see that you just picked up the White Mage and you see White 6.
And Combine, which means you didn't have to learn Chemist at all.
Yeah, but we found Chemist early enough that you're just like, oh, that's fine. He is going to pick up Blue Mage, though.
Oh, I 100% agree with picking up Blue Mage.
It depends on what blue magic ability he has, blue magic spells he has, though.
Yeah, I mean, we know they have White Wind.
Okay, White Wind enough alone kind of makes up for it.
No, I really would want Deathclaw or
Mighty
Level
Guard.
5 Doom or Mighty Guard to make it real good.
He
didn't beat the boss NPC.
Yeah, that guy is a true boss in of himself.
So in order to beat that guy, you literally have to hold down as you come out the door. You can't stop, and you have to turn left as soon as you hit the pot.
Yep. See, I've never beaten him before. Finds haste too as well. Mirage was the place to go as well. There's been some big hit spots.
I kind of want to see what blue magic they have because I want to know. The thing he needs to do right now is he needs to start selling some stuff. He does not have enough money for guild toss. And it looks like he's going to do Bahamut.
Love that Chocobo song. Meanwhile, No Name is taking on X-Death, so we'll see if he should be in a fairly good spot to take him on. He is not using, however, the Holy Lance, so he is not using that strategy. He does have X-Fight, so I think he's just going to be relying on that, putting out quite a bit of damage with his ninja.
So we do have all kinds of different skill levels in this game, and that's why I tell you not to be afraid to join the community and to try this game. And you'll see that here. Like, there's very, very different skill levels, and like the tournament's even going to show that too, because we're going to have to seed people. There's not going to be like, we're not going to have any kind of qualifiers or anything. We're just going to randomly seed people against each other. It's going to be double them, so you're going to minimum get 2 games.
Yep.
And we're just going to have fun with it.
Yeah, I mean, for this being our first tournament, and for the size of the community it is right now, I would not be too worried about, like, seeding it or anything like that. Hopefully, once the community starts growing more, we can kind of start doing those more things, like, where I'm sure you've seen, like, Kingdom Hearts Randomizer and stuff like that, where they have, like, qualifier races just to get into that.
Yeah,
that's a long way for us.
I'm from the ALTTPR community originally, so I'm completely aware of all that stuff. So he actually has a really good white magic list. It's just, to me, like, white mage at this point is underwhelming.
Yeah, it definitely is a little bit underwhelming. I think it's probably still just a safety thing for Garlyle. So, like, okay, I do have one person who for sure always has white magic on them. Meanwhile, No Name does get X-Death down as well. So
this fight's actually going to be kind of hard. He has a really big attack that may just one-shot his entire party. Yep.
We'll have to see if he is able to get him down.
I don't know if he's going to have enough damage to kill him ahead of time. It's going to be close. So he forgot to re-equip Double Grip after the castle, or after the tower.
Does have Aqua Rake. I didn't see what else he all has. We know he has the White Wind.
And this is also going to hurt, is getting old. If either his Dancer or his Knight gets old, it gets really hard. Yep,
that's a big drop in his physical damage, but putting out max damage with that Sword Dance, though.
Yeah, and this is the reason you see that Sword Dance with the Chicken Knife is so good, and even with the bad RNG, why I love it so much.
Yeah, so the launchers aren't dead now, so he doesn't have to worry about that too much now. And he has Arrow 3. Arrow 3 is also another really good blue mage spell. I don't know why it doesn't do any damage, but...
It's because of this boss. He's located in the air. I think it just doesn't trigger on him. He got good luck. He got really good Sword Dance luck. That's what he needed. He was essentially in a race against time. It's similar to like Mega Flare or True Edge off of Odin and Bahamut. Ooh, the Trench Page. Ooh.
Meanwhile, No Name is going to be taking on, I always forget how to say her name,
Mirajin. He cannot actually follow that Trench Page.
Nope, he needs the Submarine Key, so he's at the spot now where he has to know, well, you can see now he's looking to see what key items probably that he has. But we know now he has to go to the Lonely Island, so...
Yeah, and if anybody wants to know what's going on backstage, we can always let you know. So apparently the the barrier tower led to Hear Use Call, which led to a tablet. So the fourth tablet is still missing. Probably in the trench at this point.
Yeah, I would not
from
be
the knowledge
surprised
we
if
have.
it's reinforced there.
Which means that everybody's going to have to get the Mirage Radar into the Bahamut spot, into trench.
Yep.
It's actually, this is one of those nasty chain seeds that can happen sometimes.
Yes, you can definitely, this is possibly one of those seeds where it can become a 100% seed, where just because of the nature of like how the key items chain together, you end up having a 100% it, which is not always bad, because then normally by the time you're going into X-Death, you're normally very well leveled. So it makes the X-Death fight a lot more manageable than it normally is. So.
It makes the whole void safer. So
Yep.
I mean, you're not going to get one shot as often, which
is very possible
it
to
might
happen
be
in
a
the
full
void.
clear. Oh, it could be falls too. Yeah, that's true. I think I would do trench before falls though. But given that they have falls page, yeah, actually, Wind Fox is actually going into falls right now. So I'll be able to let you guys know if that's the answer.
So No Name is going to find all of his goodies that he's going to get out of the Moogle. So he has found his Samurai. I like how you not only get Samurai in there, you also got Gil Toss in there. Meanwhile, Garlyle is selling the farm to get all of his money ready.
Yeah, and he's close already. He needs about...
I'm wondering if he's just going to be selling off a lot of stuff so he can really kind of just Gil Toss the rest of the way through this seed.
Realistically, you can sell off anything that is not equipable by samurais, if that's your plan.
Yeah. Like 3 tiaras you can get rid of.
He sold Tempest.
Interesting.
Well, you don't need weapons for the
No,
strat.
I mean, if you're just going to Gil Toss it, you don't, but... Yep, it looks like that's what he's doing. He's going full samurai strats.
I wouldn't do it now, though.
Yeah, I'd be too worried I'd run out of, because you still have quite a few bosses left.
Well, no. I just wouldn't even set it up yet. It's not worth it. Yeah, he's going back. It's not worth it yet. Now, having Guild Toss on a character just in general,
yeah,
when you haven't seen
like
triplets or guardians,
yeah,
that's a good idea.
Yeah, I agree with that. Cause yeah, especially because he knows he has not seen either of those bosses yet, it's always a good be like, okay, in case I do run into them.
All right, so he is doing Shrine.
Okay.
He unfortunately probably last located his submarine key.
Well, No Name still has not found it either, so.
Yeah. But he's also like 5 bosses behind. And we're pretty sure that he has to do all the way to the Bahamut spot too.
And to be fair, I mean, Garlyle, I know also is kind of one of our I don't want to say newer runners. This is the first time being on here. But like in the background, obviously, you and Wind Fox have been doing, I will say, a higher number of seeds than the average person per week, I would say.
We do. We do probably like 4 to 6 a week.
Yeah, and then Dry is just, well, he's Dry. He's kind of like, he's the OG of the community, basically. Like, Dry and Artemy have been in there since like when I joined, and that, I mean, we've added a few people on since then, like you and Wind Fox, but Artemy and Dry, I remember the first time I joined it, they were in there talking about a seed, so those two are kind of some of the original OGs of the community, so.
Oh yeah, and it's interesting to see all this, right? So, by the way, Fork Tower required? Because wasn't Mirage Radar on Sandworm Bait?
Sandworm Bait was there, and I think, yeah, maybe it was. I think that's, well, did he? I know the other Fork Tower, yeah, it would all depend on what we got out of Sandworm Bait.
I think it was Mirage, where did he get Mirage Radar from if it wasn't from there?
It has to have been there then.
Which means that Fork Tower was required, and that's just kind of funny. Well, possibly required, if Trench was required.
Yeah, thank you so much for everybody for watching us tonight. We try to get these races on as often as we can. With the limited number of runners that we have, we don't want to show it to you every week, because then you'd be seeing kind of the same really 6 to 8 people being recycled every single week, and it would be, you'd probably get a little bit tired of the same runners all the time. But I have posted in the channel the link to the website to actually go generate seeds for this. That has the link to the wiki. It also has the link to our Discord. So if you're watching this and you really like what you see, please join us. The community is absolutely amazing. A lot of people who are very, very knowledgeable about this game, because there is a good bit to learn, that are more than willing to help out with any questions you might have. We also time to time will check in on other people's. If we see someone just randomly streaming Career Day, we'll also just hop in your stream, and if you need any help, we're more than willing to help out in your stream. So please come join us. It's an amazing randomizer. I'm really, really glad I found this. It's one of my favorites, along with Free Enterprise and Career Day, or Free Enterprise and Worlds Collide. There's the Final Fantasy randomizers just always tend to be such good randomizers to play through.
And just as kind of a side note here, by the way, this enemy that Garlyle's fighting, it, to me, is almost boss level by itself.
He really is. He's quite annoying, and he hits quite hard.
Yeah, so you essentially have to fight him in 3 phases. You get the first phase, which got one shot by Chicken Knife, of course. You get the second phase where you have to kill off his image, and then the third phase where you actually finish him. Which the image is now dead.
Yeah, I was gonna say that sword dance is just making, like, when you're dueling over 10,000 per sword dance,
God.
And then he has Mind Blast too. So Mind Blast is a really good blue mage ability as well, even just for going into Neo X Death.
Yeah, he's got a lot of utility on the blue mage. Like the blue mage, oh my god, he got 3 sword dances in a row. So that's Invisible's gone.
Just a nice shield out of it, but
hey, that's 20,000.
Yeah. So here you can really see, like, if you do get good spells for your blue mage, just how powerful the blue mage can be. He can be a healer. They can be, they have Mind Blast that can lock down a lot of things. They have Mighty Guard. They have all these amazing spells that you can find there. So you can not only learn them from the bosses that you normally would, and every character always has learning on. So even if you don't find blue mage yet, you can just use that. He does have Aqua Rake though. And he has Gill Toss, so Puroboros should be fairly easy.
Gill Toss is what I would probably use for this.
Yes, Mind Blast.
He's about to level his knight so that he can Gill Toss. I like it.
Yep. Yep, he's gonna make quick work of these guys. Yep, all dead.
So if you don't know what these guys are, they cast Life 2 on death. So if one of them, if you don't kill them all at the same time, they bring back the other ones that are dead. Very annoying fight if you don't have a good multi-target attack.
Yep, because the other option is you can mute all of them, but that takes some time.
And there's that Adamantite.
Yep, so that will unlock the Flying Locker Ruins for him. So hopefully he remembers that's on the path, so he will be probably jetting right over to that.
Well, I mean, he doesn't have anything left to do. Until he gets the sub key, he doesn't have a lot open to him.
Yeah, so now he is kind of on a one-stop track, so...
Yeah, the brute force method. The brute force method is very dangerous, though, because they do know Exploder.
Yep, and it takes a lot of time. In a race setting,
depending on where you find them. Depending on where you find them. Sometimes you have to, though.
Hey, Apocalypse! So...
Does he know Exploder?
I was gonna say, fun fact. If you have a blue mage and you cast Exploder on Apocalypse, Apocalypse is also a blue mage, and he wants to show you that he is the better blue mage. And he will learn Exploder, and then use Exploder back on another of your party members, which instantly kills him. It is one of the true chef's kisses of boss fight cheesing that you can do on this, on him. Yes, it is like
I don't think he has this.
I don't think he does it either, but it is truly the chef's kiss of dealing with this. Yes, so every character can learn, Grandra. Even if you do not have a blue mage, every character does have learning instantly on, basically.
Yeah, I always forget about that one, but I realize it's on when I see it.
Yep, it is another quality of life thing they gave to us. And a very nice quality of life thing, too, so that way, even just along the way, if you run into those enemies and bosses, you just pick it up, making blue mage normally even better as you find it.
So the sub key was at the very entrance. So I will say that Wind Fox has all 4 tablets.
Okay. So he is probably making his dive in some way.
So does Dry. They're both selling right now.
Which does make sense. We both know that those are kind of, out of the 4, 2 of the stronger runners that we had in here. So it does not surprise me that those 2 are about to go into go mode. And you can see, even if we effectively almost had to 100% this seed, and they're already effectively in go mode at 2 hours, 13 minutes, so. No, I'm sorry. We do have the bar job available. And
Or
we
the dancer.
there's a dancer available if you want to be a dancer. I'm not sure what freelancer would be considered.
That's probably more of a bounty hunter.
I'd consider it more of like a side gig thing. Like, well, what job is your? I'm a bit of a freelancer.
You can always be a mime.
Yeah,
Career Day loves its mimes.
Just go find a street corner. You can do some miming.
But apparently, if you want the real money work, then you be a samurai. But then you're throwing your money away. So
yeah, I don't know. Like, you kind of wonder why samurai got gil toss, and I don't know if it's like supposed to be like a vow of like poverty that samurai take or something. But it like Slash makes perfect sense for them. But like
Thief would have been a good gil toss class.
What?
Thief would have been a good gil toss.
Yeah, exactly.
Class.
Thief would have been a great gil toss class.
Robin Hood.
Or you're stealing from like enemies and bosses so you can give to the people. Or even just something like mine would have made sense. It's a reference to some 1920s story. I never heard of it. I would really be interested to find that story where a samurai throws money at people.
So red lobster, not weak to choke, is super weak to lightning. Like, we're talking like quad weak to lightning. It's a ridiculous amount of weak to lightning. So Dry has entered the void. Wind Fox is not yet. Wind Fox is in school.
I don't like Crabalos. I don't like Red Lobster, but that's because I'm allergic to shellfish. So.
Yes, Red Lobster is weak to lightning.
So, just so you know, if you ever go to a Red Lobster, keep your lightning away from that place. They don't like it.
Ooh, we actually got the rare boss in the shrine chest. I didn't even notice that.
Alistar, I don't know what the restrictions are on for the channel for linking Wikipedia. I don't know if it allows links or not.
Yeah, I wouldn't risk it and get, because a lot of the chats have an auto ban system on links.
Yeah. Mountain Dew theme. Oh, I'm sorry. If you're saying there's a Red Lobster Mountain Dew theme drink, that just sounds disgusting. I do not want to know what kind of Mountain Dew.
Oh, how far behind are... I want to see how far apart these two are. So Dry is already almost through the first area. Wind Fox hasn't went in yet.
Because, I mean, Mountain Dew already puts out some very nasty flavors. Like, I don't know if you've tried the new watermelon Mountain Dew, but that is like drinking, and especially for Mountain Dew, for me to say this about Mountain Dew, because I love Mountain Dew, but that is like drinking a liquefied Jolly Rancher. Garlyle's going to go do these dragons and chests in the barrier tower, so he's going to get some good drops off of this and some good experience.
Then this is what you want. You want the single red dragon. He does have Atomic Ray, but it's better than the double yellow dragons.
Yep, double lightning dragons, no bueno. Does have White Wind here, he's going to use that to heal up.
White Wind's an interesting spell, so for anyone who doesn't know what White Wind does, it heals for your current HP.
Yep.
With the caster.
So
it can either be a really weak spell if you have 10 health, or it can be the strongest heal spell in the game if you have like 2 or 3 grand.
Yeah,
I drink just regular Mountain Dew, so I can't say anything.
I do like the the Vivid the Voltage one. I'll drink that. The 4th of July one I liked. That was a very unique flavor, but the watermelon one was just a little too much for me.
The 4th of July one was weird.
Yeah, it really was. It had a very, very unique flavor, but it was weird in a good way.
It's because it was 50 flavors.
Yeah. I do like Baja Blast. I'm a fan of Baja Blast. I don't know why. I like Code Red. I don't like the orange one as much.
I like Livewire. Livewire is good. There was one back when they used to have the contest. There was one that was in contest with, I think it was Whiteout.
Yes, Whiteout was good.
And well, see, I didn't like Whiteout. I liked the one that was the tropical one that they had up against it.
Oh, see, I liked Whiteout when I was good. I've not had the KFC Mountain. I did not know, like, Mountain Dew truly just has, like, let's just put out a flavor there, see what people think.
I'm gonna hurt a lot of people's feelings here. I can't do the KFC one because I'm not a tea person.
Oh, is it supposed to be like a sweet tea Mountain Dew?
It's called Sweet Lightning.
Oh, I don't know about that. Now I might have to go to KFC because there's one out by me just to see, but I'm a bit skeptical.
Yeah, it's called Sweet Lightning. It's like a Mountain Dew tea. Yeah. I haven't had it, but I know what it is.
I'll do it once for science, but...
So we're seeing a lot of retracing and going over each other's steps. We're getting a lot of... And No Name hasn't cleared some stuff and is sort of caught up, you know?
And that's just it. Sometimes in a randomizer, like, he decided not to go do some of these other checks, and it just turned out well for him.
Well, then he kind of hasn't caught up because we kind of know. Well, we know fourth tablet is. It's got to be somewhere like Trench. No, it's false. It was false because they both went to false and have all 4 tablets.
So No Name still has to go to Fork Tower to get the Sandworm bait.
No, it doesn't. They already have false page.
So was Sandworm bait not anything?
No, Fork Tower wasn't required.
Okay, so maybe No Name will get lucky. Yep, so he's got the submarine key now, so...
No, you're good. You're good. I've kind of been derailing parts of it for an amount of time.
That is bound to happen in a randomizer race
load.
at least once. Last weekend, I did the community race commentary for Final Fantasy VI Worlds Collide, and there was one point where the race was just getting so absurd and so long that we started talking about like what the weather was like outside. We were just like... And so in the after show where we talked to the different runners, we literally just asked them, what's the weather like outside your window? We did, however, come upon a $1 million idea for a channel, for like a Twitch channel. And it would just be somebody's, like, if you have that old crazy grandparent that just likes to watch the Weather Channel and complain about the Weather Channel, like with the weather in different cities, I think that would be a hilarious Twitch channel. It's just some old guy or woman in front of their TV just looking and watching the Weather Channel going, oh my god, 35 degree, like 32 in Texas. Can you believe that? How do they deal with that? I'd be like, I would love to watch that for like an hour straight.
To answer Jetter's question, we got a essentially full clear seed. It was almost a full clear seed. You didn't have to do Fork Tower, but you had to do a lot of the other stuff.
Yep.
So Mirage Radar wasn't required. Bahamut wasn't required. Most of World 1 and 2 were required, though.
Yes, I think almost all of World 1 and 2 were required. Antlion was not required.
There was some that wasn't. Odin wasn't required. What was it? Moogle Waterway wasn't required.
Yeah. Yeah, so it wasn't 100%, but it was definitely a majority of the seed was required.
Oh. Wait. Dry had to leave or he died.
The Void?
Yeah, the first boss in the Void must have got him. I'm about to see what it is. Oh. Okay, makes sense.
So don't spoil it.
I'm not. The only thing I'm keeping up with that I'm going to spoil for you guys is who ends up getting first out of these. Because I'm guessing first and second are both going to go to the 2 guys off stream.
So Garlyle has found his 3rd tablet, so now we'll have to see if he makes the play to...
well, see, he has history. He has history and Trench, and if I have the option between those 2, I would take Trench. Because it has 3 hints and 2 shops.
Which, unfortunately, he's going to realize not where he needed to go, though.
Mm-hmm. He may make the other decision. That's just the decision I would make.
Yeah.
Get in his position.
I think most people would go to Trench just because there is those...
Oh.
It is a faster, like they're saying in chat, like Judge was saying, it's faster check. There is 3 hints there, and there's the shops there. Which just kind of like, okay, well, if it is here, awesome, I get all that extra. If it's not, oh well.
In our randomizer, if you are on the Career Day site, we have an option set at the bottom that includes like doing your menu color, renaming the characters, starting with Krill instead of having Galuf at all. That's all located inside the randomizer's like programming.
Yep.
So you can rename your characters down there.
And that is the link.
You rename Barks at the beginning.
Yes.
Yeah. Just scroll down towards the bottom. For anybody who wants to get into this, I heavily recommend doing the race settings. I know it sounds weird. We don't really have a super casual setting, but if you want to make it more casual, you can always like up your tablet count. But I recommend the race settings just because they're more friendly than just the default settings.
Yes.
I see a lot of people do default like World 1 locked and stuff, and that's harder.
Yeah, because you're limited to like the types of items you can find in the beginning, so you have a much harder start. Yeah, the race seeds are very well like set up, and trust me, there was quite a bit of debate on the race seeds because we basically made these race flags ourselves, and there was a lot of, okay, well, is it better for this? Time-wise, is it better for this? Things like that. So, because we also enforce all jobs, so every job is available in here somewhere. Whereas I don't think it auto defaults.
It does.
To that.
That's like the only thing that auto defaults.
Oh, okay.
So, like my viewpoint on this is, if you want to get into this, start with the race seed settings. Add maybe one tablet, because you don't want to make it like too ridiculous, but 2 tablets I think would be okay.
Yeah.
And try that, and when you get more comfortable, drop it to 1 tablet, and then you can try just messing with other settings. There's a ton of different settings you can do. You can do random abilities learned off of the classes, which is insanity. You can do randomized abilities on equipped classes, to where you can't change the abilities and they come with a random set.
There's randomized weapon abilities.
That one's actually kind of fun.
It is,
so
but
randomized
it can make
weapons,
some things wild.
Randomized weapons, so imagine Assassin's Dagger with Medio attached. That's what randomized weapons does.
I've ran into a sword with Cure 2 on it. So
yeah,
you couldn't use it to attack an enemy, you could only use it to attack yourself, to then heal that person.
Yeah, what sucks is when you get like the Mighty Guard Axe, when you really just can't use it.
Yeah.
Because it'll one-shot your characters, but... Yeah, Mighty Guard weapons feel bad, but there's some really good stuff and fun stuff in there too. I like the Comet weapons, I like the Medio weapons, even though Medio only hits once. If it's a multi-hit attack, it'll only hit once in Weapon Rendo. Here, I'll talk about some of the settings we have. Randomized job color palettes is something else you can do. That does not affect seating. Yeah, that does not affect seating at all. And it makes for some cool things like, you see the samurai sprite there on Garlyle's side? I had that in like a 4-color like neon the other day. It was like purple, green, pink, and yellow.
Yep.
It looked really awesome. I wouldn't recommend progressive rewards until you're really more comfortable with the game.
Yes, that makes it
removing Neo X Death can be fun. It places a random boss at the end.
X Death, right? Not Neo X Death.
No, Neo X Death.
Okay.
You can remove the last fight of the game, and it just places a 2 goblin fight somewhere in the seed.
Okay. See,
and
use that one.
removes him completely. He needs to heal before he fights this. Okay, he is.
Yeah.
You can start with any number of worlds open. World 1 open is hard. World 1 and 2 is where we start with race settings. And then all worlds open it requires 2 less items to beat the game.
Yeah.
Yeah, I never use progressive rewards. The reward tiering I would leave alone for the most part. You can randomize the loot you get from enemies, drops and steals. That's an interesting one that I haven't played with much.
I have thought about having a discussion about changing that, because I think that would make Thief possibly a little bit better, because like if you can possibly steal really good stuff, it would give a reason for you to actually use Thief, basically.
But then you still wouldn't know where to get stuff, so it'd still be hard to know when to use it.
Yeah.
We've got 4 job modes.
Yep, 4 job mode's really a good one. I know a lot of people are like running 4 job Fiesta. It's like, but after you've run 4 job Fiesta on vanilla Final Fantasy V so many times, doing the randomizer of it just makes it kind of another layer of difficulty, or just a different experience for 4 job mode.
So things I recommend: if you want to learn this game, race settings, set your battle speed to 5.
Yep.
That'll help you a lot too. That's something that Dry recommended to me at one point when I was learning. It's super helpful. It slows down the fight just a tad, which helps you menu and stuff in between attacks faster.
Yep, so there's a lot of different stuff that is available, like I said. And then if you have any questions while going through a beginner seed, reach out on the Discord. We're more than happy to help.
Or one of us might be in your stream already. If you're streaming it.
We might just be, hanging out in your stream. You never know.
Me and Dry tend to crash people's streams often.
Garlyle facing off Necrophobia, who...
Necrophobia's
it's not
one
a
of the
bad
worst
spot to
bosses.
run into him, but it's not like an ideal spot either.
Necrophobia is one of the worst bosses. This is technically the boss that's supposed to be right before Neo XF.
Yeah.
So what you saw there is the ninja or the dancer has Assassin's Dagger as their first weapon. So the Assassin proc for Doom triggered on the hit to the barrier and reflected back to one of their party members.
Gotta love it. She's doing some damage with those sword dances, though. Even his samurai has swords or has a dance on him.
So I will say that Windfox also died to the first boss.
Okay.
So now Dry's ahead.
Okay, now I'm really interested to see who this first boss is waiting for us in the void. Garlyle's not too far away from being there. He does still need to go to the falls.
He has to go do history, yeah. I mean, he technically could already go in there, but... And that is something to keep in mind, too. You can actually, if you get access to World 3 and you only have a couple tablets, you can go loot and kill the first couple things in the void and get a ton of good gear.
Yes, the void is tiered pretty high. So even just like the first couple of chests that are in there normally have like sealed castle level stuff, so...
So it's something to think about, like when you get to World 3, if you still have all stuff you need to do and you need some stuff, just walk in there.
Boy,
Doesn't
this
hurt
last
anything,
barrier is
takes a
giving
couple
him some trouble.
It's gonna get worse once the barrier does.
Alright, now Necrophobia goes full man mode now.
Yeah, so this part always starts out with him flashing your entire party.
Which is fine, he's got a lot of dance that ignores blind.
Yep. The only issue is
It's got arrow 3, that should put out some decent damage. Meanwhile, it looks like no name.
Oh, I don't think we saw here underwater walls. So this is kind of interesting.
Yep, I was gonna say I was wondering where he was, so it doesn't think he's underwater. So he is facing the Hiryu plant. Garlyle makes quick work of Necrophobia actually.
I don't actually hate this play. So underwater walls is technically probably the fastest of the 3 checks.
Yeah.
That he has open in World 3. So
by the way, Hiryu plant can be killed with death, can be killed with
the little ones
slash.
can be killed with petrify. The big one has to be doomed.
Yeah, I ran into the Hiryu plant on the Path to the Void one time, and that was when Dry told me that, oh yeah, they're actually slashable. And I was just like, oh, cool, slash, everything died.
Yeah, they can all be Odinable, or they're all Odinable.
Can we just call it slashable? That sounds like it's so much more easy to say than Odinable.
Well, see, there's some things that are Odinable that I don't know if they're slashable.
Oh, okay. We'll have to take a look and see.
Plus, Odin 100% hits, slash doesn't.
Yeah.
That's the other really big difference. Odin's the more consistent one.
There he goes. There he gets the Doom on the plant. Now he just has the flowers to clear up. Alright, so here Garlyle is going to go get his last tablet. And then he should be on his way to the Void as well. So we'll finally get to see what nastiness is waiting for us at the first check.
Yeah, from the looks of it, it looks like Dry is probably going to finish first. Just barring anything bad happening.
You can see, like in Dry, like we said, Dry is one of our top runners, and this seed's already at 2.5 hours, so this is definitely was on the longer side for a seed.
This is on the longer average side.
Yeah, I know I put the estimate at 3 hours. 3 hours is normally, amongst our more kind of our common runners, kind of like an upper limit of average. Anything after 3 hours, I'd say it's a very long seed. Most things, though, should be done within 3 hours.
Yeah, I'll say when you're first starting out, shoot for the 3 to 4 hour mark and just work your way down.
Yeah,
because you're gonna have to take your time to loot. You're gonna have to take your time to get the hints. You're gonna not understand what everything is. You're probably gonna get lost a couple times.
Yes.
But you'll get the hang of it.
And there is a tracker. There is a I'm blanking on the name of it now. Emo tracker for this that does have a map on it. I highly encourage when first starting out, use the map.
There's a built-in one, but then we also have a member of our community that built one from the ground up. Also has a map as well as a new hint system page that works pretty well.
Oh, I've not seen the new one that got built yet. I'll have to go take a look at that.
Yep. It just got dropped. He actually expanded it to even look better. So it has check boxes next to each item, key item, and with world 1, 2, 3 for those.
You said this was a part of Emo Tracker or a standalone tracker?
No, it's still a package in Emo Tracker. It's just Stryzer's package.
Okay, I'll have to take a look at it. Yep.
Yeah.
I think Stryzer built one of the first ones too.
Yeah, well, Stryzer's a member of our community right now. That he plays a lot of games. Some people might even know his name. But he has worked on an Emo Tracker package for us, and it is actually really, really pretty. It's a really nice version. I really have been enjoying his Emo Tracker.
And it's always funny seeing it's always funny seeing the crossover amongst like the Final Fantasy and even the Chrono Trigger randomized amongst the community, because like one of the top runners for a while, but I mean we unfortunately haven't seen too much of him recently, but is Swerve. He is one of the better runners of Career Day, and he also runs Free Enterprise, and he also runs 6 Worlds Collide. So if you come from one of those communities, you're already kind of used to having to deal with kind of some of the situations of like, okay, well, how do I face different parties and things like that. So if you are from one of those other communities as well, you'll be surprised on how much actually does translate.
There's actually some chatter that Swerve, while he may not participate, may be involved in the 1.0 tournament in some way, shape, or form.
I wouldn't mind seeing him commentate. He has a lot of knowledge about the game as well.
Yeah, he's definitely offered up services in some departments, whether it be commentating or maybe even filling in a last slot if we have trouble filling it.
Finds the Phoenix Esper in here.
It'd be very, very interesting. So you want to hit all these chests from the front, the 2 in the middle of the room, and then that one you hit from the side.
Yeah.
If you hit either of those 2 chests from side or back, as you saw, you get damaged pretty hard.
All right, so here we're gonna get our last tablet, and we're gonna see who's waiting for it to set the Leviathan fight.
Yeah. Well, and you see, Garlyle may not even be too used to coming into falls. You don't come into falls every season.
Yeah.
There's sometimes you don't enter like you might not do a lot of World 3. You might do no World 3. World 3 is the one that, so you already are, it's minimum 3 key items in.
Ooh, Carbuncle.
So, Carbuncle's cheesable.
He is cheesable.
So,
you just gotta wait for the cheesable spot.
Yeah, so here's a good like hint. If you ever find Carbuncle, and you have either Shoat or Doom or some way of one of those things that can kill him.
Yeah.
Yeah, then all you have to do is sit there with your cursor on him.
Oh no.
He might not have any of the things equipped. And it's got quite a bit of HP. He's probably like 30, 40,000 in that spot.
Alright, let's see what he's looking for then.
He already had summon. Yeah. He had summon on the samurai. So all you have to do is sit there with, you click fight, and then you sit there with your cursor on Carbuncle, and once your cursor goes back to your menu, then his shield's down.
Yeah. And
you can insta one-shot him.
Yes, once his shield does go down, you can break blade, you can show him, you can do all that fun stuff. So, like we said, I mean, a lot of people will say Final Fantasy V is more of like a puzzle game with a JRPG skin around it, and I very much agree. There's a lot of these bosses that once you know like the puzzle to them, it's like, okay, well you're not your typical like. There's a lot of Final Fantasy games where bosses are just hit A, attack until dead, cast heal spells and keep you up. Whereas Final Fantasy V, you can obviously take that approach, but there's a lot of also bosses that have a very unique way that you can just one-shot them.
Or there's a lot of unique tactics based on different classes. So, like the Beastmaster class, not normally used a lot, but it uses whips. It's the only class in the game that can use a whip. Well, the whips also come. Most of them come with the chance to paralyze on hit, which is really big in some cases. You can actually lock down enemies because there's sometimes you're not going to have any of the cheesable ways to kill somebody, and you're going to have to go a longer way. Like imagine doing, imagine no combine, no samurai, X-Death fight, maybe even no summoner.
Yeah, then you're just doing the old school attacking, kind of trying to heal through everything, getting ready for Almaguest to survive it.
And a good, you're not going to get to see it this seed, but like the tactics you would do without like Guild Toss and all that is you would do, and we are in go mode for Garlyle.
Yep.
But you would do you would want Breakblade and Magic Sword. You'd hopefully have those, and you'd want Magic Lamp if possible.
Yeah, if you're lucky to find it.
What that does for you is Magic Lamp will actually insta-kill the back left portion. Breakblade will kill the bottom right portion, which is the one that casts Almaguest. So that takes care of half of the Neo X-Death fight by itself. And then you just have to split damage on the two top parts. If you have a Blue Mage with Mind Blast, you can lock down the Grand Cross section.
It is surprising how fast No Name has caught up to Garlyle, because he is at Falls right now too, and he is going to get the page out of there. So and he'll be right behind Garlyle. So even though he lost all that time on Omniscient, and think if he had not done all that time on Omniscient, he actually might be ahead of Garlyle.
But he skipped Muah. He skipped what is
Twin
it?
Tower.
He skipped
Fort
Tower. He skipped Bahamut spot. Yeah, there's a lot he got to skip.
So he just made that right guess, and it's paying out dividends for him.
Mm-hmm. And that can happen because if you get the right guess and you get the item you need, you know what's in Path of Void. You can just go on the path.
And that's one of the things about randomizers is that, like, not all the time does the absolute best player win. I mean, like, the person who has the most knowledge. It could be just, hey, you made the right read, and you're just like, I'm going to try this out. I normally would do this other check first, but I'm going to just try this, and it pays out for you. So now, hopefully he has a way to deal with Carbuncle here, outside of just X fighting it, which looks like might be his only option. Which I would be surprised, because he should have someone, he should have Shoat as well.
So, very, very shortly, we're probably going to see Dry finish. He's entering the net half of the fight right now.
Alright, and I'm assuming he's using Chemist
yeah,
Samurai?
he's already in the Guild Toss whole day part of the fight.
Okay. Yeah, he should be done pretty quick then, so he will most likely...
He didn't quite max out his damage. It might take him 8 throws. Oh, we had Odin in the Void. Nice. What level summon did we end up with, though?
Oh, Artemis right. No Name did not do... Oh, look who it is! It's the Three Stooges. I'm glad... I bet you Garlyle's glad he has Guild Toss right now.
This is what killed both of our other runners.
So yeah, like Artemis said, No Name might not, since he did not do the tower, he might not have high enough level summon to kill Carbuncle. So
this is interesting. So both the other players did not have a Samurai. So they did have to reset out, or they died and then reset out. So him one-shotting that actually is helping him catch up to Windfox.
Oh, nice.
Windfox is still like 3 or 4 bosses ahead, don't get me wrong. Windfox, I think, is Halley spot?
No Name is did have to reset out of that Carbuncle fight, which he's going to have to do it, so hopefully he's got a better party or a better game plan for it. Yes, do not accidentally run into Omega. That is not what you want when you're racing.
Nope, and yes, he's going to be done real soon.
Galura can be a nasty one to find this late. He hits like a truck, but it looks like he does have Image up on Lenny.
And Dry is finished. So Dry finished with a 243.27.
So GG's to our off-stream runner Dry, who's definitely kind of one of our top runners here. Windfox, who's probably not too far behind him.
Dry is a fountain of knowledge. So
yeah,
if you ever get Dry in your stream, you'll find out a lot about the game really quickly.
Yes, if you have any questions about the game, ask him. He will tell you. He'll probably have more than you expected too. just regular. Okay, yeah, he could just regular attack with the Assassin's Dagger. Did not think about that. Jetters brings up a good point there.
I think he
Shows down Dora.
de-equipped the Assassin's Dagger. But yeah, Shoat works too. Yeah, Dry knows so much about this game. Like,
he's better than the Wikipedia article at times. You're just like, oh, okay.
you're just at a boss and you're like, you're talking to yourself and you're like, I don't know how much HP this boss has, and then it's just in your chat.
Yeah. Just out of nowhere, like, we should call it Drybot. And it's just like, Drybot, how much HP does? And it's just like, Drybot says.
Oh, man.
Alright, let's see if he's got a better approach this time for Carbuncle. The problem with this team, his team also has fairly low HP as well.
Dry is the one that, you probably are laughing at what we're talking about, but if you ever play this game and he joins your chat, you'll understand what we're talking about instantly.
Yes. There's been times where I've just been sitting in my chat and he's like, yeah, you should probably pick that up, because that goes with this, and then that goes with this. And I was like, oh, thank you. I did not even know you were in my chat, Dry.
Yep.
No Name is using, oh, accidentally gets break reflected off of him. That's bad timing.
And that's what I'm talking about. You can do that strat where you just click fight, but you don't actually finish clicking. You just target him, and then you'll know when it falls off when your cursor falls back to your menu.
I mean, he is making, I mean, for not having the show strategies, he is doing pretty good work to it. Oh, it's actually casting break off of itself. Did not know it could do that.
So the way enemies work in the randomizer, and this is good knowledge for everybody else, they do get harder the farther into the game they are. They have advanced strats that they can learn, including spells. So Ifrit, towards the end of the game, may cast Flare on you.
So No Name should be in go mode as well, I believe. I think he should have all 4 of his tablets now.
He does.
Looks like he is heading back that way as well. Now, No Name does not have Samurai, I don't think. So yeah, No Name on his stream, it does not show he has the second tablet, but we know he does have all of his tablets.
He should have Samurai. He should have went to Moogle Village.
I think he did.
GG Drive, by the way. Congratulations. Well, I was watching both your and WinFox's stream on the background, so I'll let everybody know when you finished. WinFox wasn't too far behind you.
Did something happen to...
He's had a couple rougher void fights than you. Actually, Garlyle and WinFox are pretty close.
Okay, there's...
Yep, I like the little freeze on Garlyle where he's just
I have perfect timing for it to freeze, but all right, let's see if that fixed it. There we go.
There.
So he is facing Catastrophe and does not have Float, or if he does not have it up. So he is probably just going to try to rush Catastrophe down.
So Catastrophe is one of those bosses you don't like to see late in the game.
No.
He knows Earthquake. Well, he does have Float.
He does have Float. Okay, so he's just going to use this.
So there is a cheese strat for Catastrophe. If you have a Wall Ring plus Float, you pretty much lock Catastrophe into spamming Gravity 100.
Yes, like Jetters is just in there. Or if you can, out of combat, you can just cast Float and have the Wall Ring on, and then you start off in the fight that way, and it just infinitely gets stuck casting Gravity 100. And there you can see he is using Float again. Yeah, his AI, yes, is a Catastrophe.
So that's another thing. So like he knows Earthquake. So like Titan this late would know Earthquake.
So White Mage, where did he find White Mage? That was in Mirage Village? Yes, Mirage Village. And Blue Mage was also in Mirage Village, I believe.
Yeah, he got Mirage Radar.
Yes, that was in...
They did Fork Tower.
Yeah, Fork Tower, yep.
You didn't want to go there. You had to do Fork Tower for Sandworm Bait, which was Go-Go and... no, it wasn't Abductor. It was Abductor.
It was Abductor, yep.
It was the vampire dealing like 3k drain damage.
Yeah, we should see No Name should be making his way over to the Void pretty soon as well. Looks like he's just doing, picking up a bunch of elixirs to get ready.
Yeah, so Garlyle last located Shrine Page. Or not Shrine Page, but went to Shrine Page last. He did everything but.
Yes.
So get the sub key real late.
So Garlyle's using,
I'd be worried a little bit on Garlyle's side. Not because this isn't gonna work, but I would
he's
want
got
to
very
see
fixed
his
amount of money.
Because he's used Guild Toss for multiple fights in here.
Yeah, that's what I think me and Karma's concern is he's burning through so much money to Guild Toss these guys down.
So every throw right here is somewhere between like 6,000 to 10,000.
Yeah. And
Which doesn't sound like a lot. But when you need 160
now, to be fair,
to
that is the last boss before Ned, so it is a valid
They may do save point boss if they're not super comfortable.
I guess. Yeah, kind of what they're saying in chat. So yeah, No Name unfortunately had a very rough Omniscient fight.
Yeah, you have to go back and watch that one dry. We're gonna ask about it because definitely had a save.
Yeah.
Because almost went right back into the fight without a berserker when they finally decided to give up on it, but tried the fight probably like 20 times before they went back. Which it just made us confused.
Yeah, that's gonna be the big thing to ask him about. Kind of what the.
Oh my god, he has three. Yeah, he has plenty of money. He can Guild Toss the whole game.
He
has
just sold everything.
342,000.
It was a closeout sale. Everything must go.
Wait, Chemist?
He already has the combined ability, though.
Interesting. So he's not comfortable with the straight strat. He's getting White and Time Mage for safety.
Which yeah, if you're not completely comfortable with doing because that is a very all-in approach to it. Because if you miscalculated or your damage or miscalculated your level ups and you get some bad hits, at least having that as a safety net of the Time Mage and all that is a nice backup.
Or you just get one shot by him, I guess.
Well, yeah. But he does have, I think he has Shell. There's summon 5, but that's kind of not. So we see No Name is at the first boss inside, so he is going to be taking on his piggies now.
Hey guys, we can finally cast Odin.
Yeah. A little late.
Actually, I think Odin's 4, but still, it was just.
There's the magic lamp, though. Yeah, so he now can kill that back section of Odin instantaneously, or a back section of Neo Exdeath instantaneously.
What's the trigger for the final Gilgamesh fight? I don't know what you're exacting. Yeah, it's not here. The last Gilgamesh fight is in Exdeath's castle. It's the one right before the Exdeath fight to go to World 3.
Yeah. Because that is the one where Exdeath sends Gilgamesh to this X zone.
So Garlyle's not going to finish too far behind Windfox. Windfox is currently buffing himself on Tree Exdeath as Garlyle's entering the fight. So they're pretty... not too far.
So that crystal by the final warp, that is the portal boss. So what the portal bosses are is they are 3 custom bosses that Cleartronic has added into this randomizer that can be used as an alternative to facing Neo Exdeath to win the fight. They are, even though they're custom bosses, they are by no means pushovers. They are pretty tough.
They actually might be harder than Neo Exdeath.
Yeah, they actually might be harder. On the very first time we did do this stream, we had one of our runners kind of finish ahead enough that he actually did show him taking down the Triad, the Dragon Triad. So if you're interested in seeing that, I do believe we have those saved.
It's up on random. It's up on the YouTube page for Randomania. But
nice.
Dry, that was Dry. Don't get me wrong, Dry. It was your first attempt on the Dragon Clan because you'd never seen them before because that's the new one.
Yeah, so for anybody who, compared to, now, as much as I love Final Fantasy VI, I will say that Neo Exdeath and Exdeath are the hardest of kind of like the SNES trilogy Final Fantasy bosses. Neo Exdeath, Ted, or Tree Exdeath, and Ned, Neo Exdeath, do not play around. They are very solidly, probably some of the most difficult bosses I've had to face in the game.
Them before, okay.
So, Ted and Ned are not pushovers.
Kig.
Yep, Kig, thank you so much for the party, for the raid. I hope you had a great stream tonight.
Kig is a member of our community as well.
Yes, he is. Does Ned fight fair though? No, he does not.
No. So if you've not played this game or you haven't played it in a very long time, Tree X Death's not too bad, except when he gets low on health, he just has to spam Medio.
Yep. But even White Hole's not fair. I mean, White Hole, an ability that instantly
kills and
petrifies you. Yeah.
So you have to Phoenix down and Salt to clear it. When you get to Ned, he has Almagest, which is a very, very high damage party-wide attack. And then he has Grand Cross, which inflicts like 14 status effects at the same time.
Yep.
Grand Cross is rude.
No Name taking on Galura here. Hopefully he'll be able to get him down very soon. You don't want to leave Galura up too long, because I think he has him stopped, though. Yeah, he has him stopped.
Almagest does sap, too, so it's like a sand. Oh, man, he got him low. That's
here
one
comes,
dead.
Here comes the Medio. He's going to have to get him down quick. Galura does, No Name does get Galura down, so he is catching up.
I'm interested in the strat here.
Yeah, he really needs to get out of this phase.
Yeah, I'd be pushing him because, well, he regular attacks. He's fine. Well, he's still combining, too.
Now, Chris, thank you so much for the raid. I hope you had a good stream as well.
Malcrios is a newer member of our community. He's actually probably one of the newer runners that we have. He's only been running for, what? Oh, Strizer's here, too. You've been running for what, Malcrios? Probably a week and a half, 2 weeks?
It was not a name that I had not seen before, but I was also been on vacation, been busy with work, so always glad to see new people joining the community. Strizer's brought him in. About right, yeah. So Malcrios, have you hit your sub 3 yet? I know you were working on it again today. Definitely give it a run. Like we said, if you have any questions about it, hop into the Discord. We're more than happy to help out, answer any questions, or if you get stuck anywhere, give us a shout. We'd love to help out and getting more people into this randomizer.
Hey, 307's not a bad time for
It's really not. I mean, you can see here,
started.
like they're going to be about 307 right now. So
I need to give you a seed. I need to give you a seed, Mal, from the test server and see how you run one of those. The test server ones seem to be a little nicer.
And here we are to the big bad himself, Neo X Death. This is actually a project I'm working on. So I do perler beadwork on the side. And this is actually a project I'm working on, is the Neo X Death sprite. It is quite a beefy sprite. But yeah, this is a great song. The Ned fight, he just is an awesome looking boss. You can definitely tell, like, during this period of Final Fantasy, like, all the bosses had, like, this, like, crazy-looking amalgamation of, like, different kind of creatures and all of them, and it's such a cool-looking thing.
So I love Final Fantasy and the way they do things, and I love that Final Fantasy 14 brought back everything from, like, every game.
Yes.
So if you want to see some cool stuff, go watch the Neo X Death transformation in Final Fantasy 14 from the raid. It's an incredible thing just to watch.
Have you seen the, so I have not played, I play Final Fantasy 14 from time to time, but never got to these raids, but just recently I just recently watched the Kefka transformation, when he transforms into God Kefka, and it's also, like, Final Fantasy 14 did such a great job doing an homage to their older Final Fantasy games, and, like, really showing it off, and it's such a shame, I want to go back and play Final Fantasy 1 and 2 and 3, because I've not played those before. And it's just such a shame they've never kind of remade those or kind of redone them. Because as much as people complain about Final Fantasy 2, I actually really like it because I'm a big fan of the Romancing Saga games.
Yep. Yeah, PSP. So I actually found out about this recently. I was watching a guy who was doing a Final Fantasy marathon, and he started with Final Fantasy 1 for PSP. And
I actually still have my PSP as well.
It doesn't look bad like the mobile edition. So I'm sorry for anyone who likes the mobile edition.
Yeah, the mobile edition is just rough.
I don't like the way they look, but the PSP version of Final Fantasy 1 looks really nice. has 4 extra dungeons in it that are pretty rough from what I saw, but fun at the same time. Very, very nice looking though.
Oh, see, I think for my collection, so I collect like a lot of like retro era RPGs. I think I would still have to get the complete in box, like for Final Fantasy 2 and 3 for the Famicom, because I do have a way to play Famicom stuff.
Oh,
so
and Garlyle has completed the seed. So
what is the official time for him?
We actually had Windfox come in second with the
259.25,
and Garlyle with the 259. So we had Dry with a 243. 14 minutes later, we had Windfox, and then 2 minutes later, we had Garlyle.
Okay, so I'm going to have to goof up the overlay for just a second to put his time in. So everybody, don't panic. I just need to scroll down to put his time in, and OBS does not like to work the way
the 3-hour approximate is pretty close.
Yep. Okay, should be back. Like I said, everybody, don't panic. Excellent job, Garlyle. We'll have to see if he wants to come in for an interview. Meanwhile, No Name is catching up on him. He's also on the Twintania fight as well. So let me see if Garlyle would like to come in for a interview.
So the one of the differences, Dry, though, that we saw was Garlyle actually caught up a little bit on the triplets fight. He was he got through triplets first try because he already had a samurai.
Yes, GG to Garlyle. Put up a great time, and all of our runners actually stayed pretty competitive time-wise. Yes, thank you, Garlyle, for reminding me.
So all I told everybody in the stream drive was that you had to reset from the first boss, and I didn't tell them what you had to reset from. So everybody was just like wanting to know what you ran into in that first button.
And we are joined by Garlyle. GG.
Oh, under 3 hours, I'll take it.
Yeah, it definitely was a longer seed. I mean, even like some of the other runners, like you were right behind Windfox, and even Dry was at 2 hours 43. So it was by no means a short seed.
Yeah, according to my tracker, literally the only place I did not check was the Big Bridge, which had its own key.
Yes, like, I think it was almost...
I don't think it can have its own key, can it?
Well, Garlyle, so you did not have to... So, like, you know, you did not have to do Fork Tower. So No Name is actually not too far behind you, because he actually just avoided doing Fork Tower and all of that, so he kind of lucked out there. But what was your thoughts about the seed overall?
Oh, it started out looking so nice. I'm like, hey, there's Conjure and Bahamut sitting in the castle. Like, there's my early game. I've got a bunch of hints about where to go, and then for an hour and a half, I was sitting there with, I have 3 places I need to go, and I can't get to any of them.
Yeah. The Sunken Walls Tower is where the Big Bridge key was.
That's it, right. That's the other check I missed.
Yeah, but a 255.9. Sorry, the stream overlay is cracking me up a little bit.
Oh, do I
but
have
the 259 is pretty good. The 259 is pretty good. Dry was a 243. Windfox was a 247 or 257. So very competitive time.
Yeah, for the fact that we did not get directions to all 4 tablets, I'm pretty happy with that, in spite of all my mistakes that I can remember in there. I'm pretty sure you saw me frustration wiggling a few times.
I saw the reset on, what was it? There was a reset on boss because you didn't think you had summon equipped. And then you realized summon was on your samurai, and you just were like, ah.
Yes, that was exactly it. I was still thinking I had him on knight with Gil Toss equipped, and...
I think it was on the Carbuncle fight, and you had to walk all the way back to Carbuncle.
Yeah, that was the exact one.
Well, there
was also bringing Chemist in during the final boss was... For some reason, I was thinking Chemist default was combine, and then it wasn't, and I was like, do I reset, or do I just keep going?
Yeah. Yeah, I do know Karma brought that up. He was like, "Oh, chemist, interesting. I wonder why he's doing that." I was like, and I didn't think about that. I completely blanked on. Yeah, he might think that combine is the default for chemist, which most people would probably agree. Like, oh, you'd think that would be, but oddly enough, it's not.
Yeah, it's drink. Far less superior skill.
Oh yes. But you did find, again, like this seed, like much like last week when you were commentating with me, Garlyle, did find the magic duo of chemist and samurai, though.
Yeah, I was kind of hoping I wouldn't, and we get to show off a bit of a different strategy for endgame, but here we are.
Yeah. It's too good not to use it once you find it.
I think that the big thing is going to be when we enter this 1.0 season and everything kind of shuffles, because there's going to be some tiering changes and stuff. It might mix it up a little bit, because seeds are getting faster. I will say that, from what I've experienced.
Yeah.
Yeah, as long as we have, I think, all abilities selected so that Gil Toss and Chemist and stuff are somewhere in the seed, it's going to make an impact.
Yeah.
Yeah, so everybody that's been playing test server settings, and this is something for you to look forward to, Garlyle, is their times are getting shorter. So, like, we went from the realm where pushing sub 2 hours was hard to I'm trying to push a sub 130.
Oh, Jesus. Okay.
I've gotten a 135 on one of the new seeds.
Wow,
Yeah, so
okay.
It's going to be a whole new ball game.
Yeah, like the hints are way better. They're more targeted. If you get a hint that says something's not needed, it's for a minimum of 2 locations.
Yeah.
There's a lot to look forward to, and I know you are a runner that doesn't compete very often, but watching you, I mean, you ran really well.
Yeah, you definitely had some. You put up a good time. You stayed competitive with Dry and Windfox, who are, like we said, we've been saying, kind of 2 of the top really good, strong runners in the community. Yeah, we'll get to see kind of how everything goes once the tournament comes up, and hopefully you'll commentate with me occasionally from time to time.
I plan to either commentate and or be racing during that, so...
Yep, that's kind of my plan. It's like, hopefully we'll have enough people that can restream so that I can commentate when I need to, but I can also be running it because I'm excited as well. No Name, like Jetters is saying, is right now currently using the kitchen sink tactics, where he is using Gil Toss and Throw, and just throwing everything he has.
I mean, I was there at one point too.
Oh, I wonder if he doesn't know combined strats.
I don't know if he...
Because he never picked it up. He may not know Chemist.
Yeah, this might be one of those times where you see, oh yeah, he just is not very familiar with those strategies.
Chemist is a very unique class that's hard to learn, but once you learn it, it's broken.
So he is on to the second phase, though. I mean, he got through and he has a lot of high-level equipment that he's just able to throw, so...
I think that's like the 3rd time we've got you off, Garlyle.
Yeah, sorry.
Oh, no, it's quite alright. I completely understand not really, like, fully grasping how strong Combined can be. I honestly learned a lot commentating and watching the show last time, and, like, seeing for myself, like, oh, okay, you can just quickly make Gil Toss do max damage. Like, yeah, that does work, and... So I now have a quick list of combines next to my notes that I open up for every run.
So something else you found this seed that was very interesting with the lack of Doom early was you found Control, I think, in Excess Castle, right?
Yeah.
And you knew where Combine was. If you had taken Control, there's a set of the island south of Crescent Town. There's the one just below it, and there's the 2 that have nothing on them. They're real tiny. If you land there, you'll start fighting prototypes, and you control them and explode themselves, and they 100% drop dark matters, which you can use to mix death potions.
Yeah, there's...
Yeah, don't worry, there's no way I knew about it either, so...
I did actually know about that one, but it was just in the back of my head. Is like, is that something I'm really, like, do I think I need the time for that, or am I starting to reach a point where I'm, like...
Yeah.
Comfortable as is.
And that's what I was talking about. I was like, if he didn't feel comfortable, he could do something like that with the lack of Doom options. But you had dual wield on Ragnarok. You had chicken knife with something on a dancer. You had so much power that it was just like, yeah, he probably doesn't need it right now. He's just gonna one-shot through everything.
So No Name is using the magic
much.
lamp, so he is going to be on the last use of the magic lamp right here. So this is going to kill off the back section of X Death.
I don't think he had break, did he? Is he trying to get the magic break to land?
No, I don't think so. I think he's just going to probably try to kill off the other 3 sections.
Because the magic evade is really high. It can land, it's just not a high possibility.
He is going to have to get down that Almaguest section pretty soon, otherwise it's going to trigger off, and he doesn't have a lot of HP.
Yeah, if it triggers off right now, he's probably losing at least 3 members.
Yeah. I mean, he might be able to kill. He does have Sword Dance. I'm surprised, though, he doesn't have any healing. He's using just, like, throw and stuff like that, so I'm trying to figure out... And what's weird is because No Name actually did the item duplication glitch as well to get, like, all that money, and there's Almaguest, and that's probably just going to kill everybody.
Oh.
Yep.
His ninja's still up, though.
Yeah, and he's got like 2 health left. He needs to bring people back. 8.
Sir, he actually has 8 HP left, and not 2.
Which saved him because he drained 3 before the Phoenix Down even went off. And Ninja... Oh, it's gone.
Yeah, this is like Artemis saying, this is the party where you bring a white mage to. I'm not sure why he doesn't have a white mage in here. Unless he didn't ever go get Mirage Radar.
He doesn't have Mirage Radar.
Yeah. Which is why I think he was using the elixirs. He's just all in on the elixir strats.
He didn't buy Chemist. He didn't buy Mirage Radar. He didn't get Mirage Radar. He does have white on the Black Mage.
Okay.
This is the Black Mage was the first one down.
Yeah, unfortunately, I think No Name was the only person who did not learn the Samurai Chemist stuff.
No Name got like 200 silver bulbs or something at one point.
Yeah. He did use the item duplication glitch on stream, which is the first time we've got to see that. So...
I wasn't even aware there was one, to be honest.
Yep.
Mirage Radar was locked behind Sandworm Bait, which was in Fork Tower.
Yep, Fork Tower.
Yeah, I don't even know Malcrios. This one was new for me.
So yeah, No Name is getting to show off a kind of a more, I guess I want to say more normal party, kind of like what you would have going into Ned. Like we've shown it off twice now, the Chemist Samurai, but that's definitely by far not super common to get that set up.
What is he trying to set up right now? Is my question.
I don't know, but yes, item duplication. I don't see a reason why it would not be allowed in the race because it is a very specific setup kind of thing. It does take a little bit to set it up, so if you want to spend the time setting up item duplication, go for it. I can't think of anything that I'd be super worried about you duplicating.
Except for like chicken knives.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
could you imagine 4 dual-wield chicken knives?
Yeah. But then you have to find the chicken knife. Like...
I may have to learn item duplication. I want more than 1 chicken knife.
Alright, so let's see what strategy he's going to go with this time. So he's going to bring out Dimension Magic, it looks like. I assume he has Haste too, hopefully. No, he didn't get Mirage Radar, so I don't think he found Haste too.
Yeah, that was in Mirage, so...
Yeah.
Yeah, there was a ton of stuff in Mirage that was really good.
Yeah, that's where you found your blue magic. Was Mirage.
But never saw Mighty Guard, so I wonder where Mighty Guard was hiding.
Yeah, that's what I was hoping to find before the end. Just it's too nice of a security button to pass up, but
it's got to be in Pyramid.
Probably.
Dry is saying that you can't just do just anything, only things that you can steal on the SNES.
Oh.
So since you can't steal a chicken dagger, you can't duplicate it.
Never mind. I've lost interest in the ability.
I was gonna say, I figured like once you heard that, you were gonna be like, oh, not worth the time anymore.
But yeah, this game's gonna change pretty soon. I think for the better. A lot of what we've been seeing from the test side of things is a lot better. WinFox can attest to that too. It's cleaner, faster, Hints are better.
Is it better, stronger, faster?
Everything tends to flow better. I'm looking forward to this 1.0 tournament and to seeing everything go.
So just due to time constraints, I think we'll give No Name possibly 2 more attempts on Neo X Death. Unfortunately, I do have to be up for work in the morning, so I can't stream super late. So we'll give him a few more attempts on this, see if he can get it down. If not, what we'll do is we can send everybody over to his stream to watch to see him finish it up. But fingers crossed, he'll get this done. So the tournament for the 1.0 is probably going to be about a month after the 1.0 actually officially releases, just to give people some time to get used to it and everything.
So from the sound of everything, Kig, I'm thinking probably into Marchish. It sounds like Clear's pretty close to the 1.0 drop. He wanted us to do a little more testing. But as soon as it officially drops, yeah, about a month-ish. We'll see what everybody feels comfortable with. To answer WinFox's question, I'm officially going to call this the WinFox. He loves berserkers with bows.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure
I didn't
he
even know
found
berserkers
that.
could equip bows.
Well, you can if you do the equip bow.
Okay.
You can do equip bow, and then Yoichi bow was early, so I guarantee you he had a berserker with Yoichi bow for like half the seed, or he had a hunter with berserk.
Down goes Lena, unfortunately, to the white hole. Yeah, I don't think we've seen too many Aegis shields either, so he is purely at the mercy of white hole here.
I mean, we may be able to start it earlier, Kick. It's not going to be a super like time-intensive thing. It's going to be double elimination. It's probably only going to be a few rounds because we're probably going to have 8 to 16 people, is my guess. My hope is that we can get at least 16 for this. If we get more than that, great. It's going to have a sign-up page soon. It's going to be posted somewhere in the Discord. And it's going to fill up, but then have a waiting list. If we get a waiting list that's a good number of people for a tournament, we'll expand it. Well, at least we'll talk about expanding it. Because even expanding it by, like, let's say we got 32 by some chance, right? It's only going to increase the rounds by, like, 1 or 2.
Yeah, so we will use challenge. That's going to be the easiest way to...
Yeah. Yeah, I've already got a challenge created. I've already got a challenge community created for us, and the tournament placeholder's already there.
Alright, fingers crossed that he can get out of this X-Death phase fairly quickly. Because I think he might be okay if he can get to phase 2 without taking too much damage. And yeah, now this time we actually see his Black Mage does have white magic on him, so he can actually keep himself topped off. Now, and he does have Shell as well, so that is also going to help, and he has the haste that he's putting up. So really what we need is that we need Ferris to really get off as many sword stances as she can. Because you can see he is just chucking everything he has. Okay, good news there.
Another thing that I do want to bring up is for this tournament that's going to be upcoming, we will need probably some volunteers. Like, let's say you're not part of the community, but you like commentating, restreaming, stuff to that effect. Feel free to drop in just to do that. We'll probably need some people. I would love to see if we can get as many of these games restreamed as possible.
I would be more than willing to teach anybody how to restream. It is not as hard as it looks.
The credits are really long for this game, so the credits have been running for almost 20 minutes across.
Yep.
This is why I use emulator and hold the tab button.
Alright, let's give No Name your energy. Let's get Neo X-Death down.
He needs to get rid of that Almaguest part as quickly as possible. Without Break Blade, though. And yeah. I don't think he equipped Magic Sword again. He didn't get Magic Sword 6. I don't even know what level Magic Sword he has.
Yep, he does not. He does have the Magic Lamp, so ideally he would have Ferris just not whacking away with Sword Stance on the Almaguest section, while the others try to get the Magic Lamp section down. Because once you get that section down, once it's just those 2 remaining sections, it's fairly manageable. I don't know what he's doing, like what all this menuing he's doing is. Okay, he's looking for the magic lamp and he's moving it up closer to the top. Okay.
I mean, kind of makes sense.
Yeah. But yeah, he really needs to not be using that. I mean, Ferris should be. He needs to be, because I don't know if he can survive the Almagest unless he gets shell up on everybody. So I would have like Ferris just using Sword Stance to get that section down as fast as possible.
Sword Stance is not 100% either, though.
Yeah.
So that's one thing you got to consider. So it's without Break Blade, it's really hard. So it's you're racing against the clock, just like anything else, and it's RNG involved. So this fight normally with the low percent setup like he has a lower percent setup than most of us have going into this fight. Level's pretty good, but as far as skill and wise, it's not really everything you want.
Yeah.
And it's like, so one thing I don't understand, he has summon, and he did save Golem. So why hasn't he used Golem yet?
The other thing I don't understand is like he's doing a lot of equipment swapping, like the unequipping the Thief Blade, then re-equipping the Thief Blade for things. Like there's a lot of stuff he's doing that I don't understand.
He might not have summon equipped. He doesn't have summon equipped on anybody. I think that might be an issue because Golem right here would be a really big help.
Yeah, he needs to start getting shell up on people. Thankfully, we're starting to see him do shell. He really needs to get that up on like at least 1 to 2 more people, like kind of the whole party, to be able to survive this coming up.
And that's if everybody doesn't get hit like they are.
Yeah.
I think that's part of why he rushed down True Edge to get rid of the back part. Is like that's just a bunch of extra magic damage coming in. That's a bunch of extra dispels.
Yeah. I think he might survive this Almagest. I think the shell, might be able to get him. Yeah, it looks like it got him through. So now he just needs to really get that Black Mage to cast Cure 3. And he might be okay. He is starting to get the Sword Stance off.
Yeah, and this is where the RMG, but he's hitting different parts. So he really needs to focus down Almagest and then rotate between the other two.
So he's
just... This is a good showing off of a low percent strat. He didn't find a lot of the stuff that the other runners found.
Yeah.
Does have Gill Toss. I'm curious why he isn't trying to use that to some effect, but without Chemist or Heroic Song was actually available in the C2. I don't know if Sing was.
Yeah, it looks like he's just going to leave Lena down and just try to 3-man this. And now it looks like he's going to start Gill Tossing. Maybe he knew he didn't have enough gold to do it all. So now he's like, okay, well, I've thrown kind of all the good stuff I have. And he's going to start dividing up Sword Dance damage to try to get all 3 of them down.
Yeah, but I don't like that just for the fact that the Almagest will be able to hit more than once.
He's getting good Sword Dances.
Yeah, he's getting good RNG. He's getting off really good RNG. But I think he needs to be focused on that Almagest part and then swap.
Agree.
I do like this image. I do like these images and stuff. The Grand Cross is also ugly. Let's see what it does.
Tiny is not ideal here.
There's a Doom, but...
You got Mini, you got Condemned. Looks like just that.
Yeah, which... That's fine. I'm completely okay. He's actually going to size up, which... Completely okay with. Yeah, it looks like he's got the Almagest section down. He's getting really good RNG with these Sword Dances. Holy cow.
This is the Sword Dance look you wish you had all seen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Although if you're gonna clutch it out and get Sword Dances like back to back, here's the time where you're really glad you clutched it out. Oh, there goes his healer's down. Yeah, he needs to get his healer up ASAP then. Or he can just try to push to get it down because he's down to 2 sections.
Oh, he did kill Almagest.
Yep, Almagest is down, and another Sword Dance. This is insane.
That's what, like 8,
I think
9?
I just saw that one part drop too.
Yeah, he's got to be pretty close to doing it. Now he's probably now he needs to be careful though and really rush out this damage because with only one
just
section,
throw whatever you got.
This is where it gets scary.
Matter.
Oh, there it is. GG.
And there you go. There's a low percent beat with no with no Mighty Guard, no Golem. That's actually a really hard fight to do like that.
Yeah, that was actually a really, really good display of kind of what it looks like. Exactly like you said, when you don't have when you're not doing the samurai guild toss strats. So that is No Name with an official race time of 3:23:33. So GG's to him as well, and we'll see if we can get him in here for a 3:23 for an interview as well before we call it a night.
So for times we we have a race time room for the runners. They hit done when they finish, and it captures their time. It's got a timer that goes.
Yeah, so even though the on-stream time said something different, we do go by the racetime.gg times. Just because normally I start the timer a few seconds after the race officially starts, just because I'm trying to get everything set up, and there's just that human kind of a second or two difference in there. But let's see.
So the race time is a really easy to use tool. If you've never used it, I recommend free account. Go make one. You can link it to your Twitch, and it'll know when you go live. So it's a really intuitive, really good tool for speed racing any game. A lot of communities use it now.
And we are joined by No Name. GG's No Name.
GG.
GG.
What was that omniscient from forever ago?
I'm glad that you brought that up, because that was the big thing we wanted to ask you about. So, was it you weren't sure if you had saved, or you just like really wanted it to beat it like with that setup that you had? Because we noticed as soon as you like went and changed your party off of the Berserker, it went like right away you beat it.
Yeah, I got really unlucky with the mute landing on most of those fights, but like the second try, like once I was like, okay, it's omniscient, what do I do? Like that was almost it. Like if a sword dance had gone off there, that would have been it, because I knew that was the Galura spot, so exactly 1,200 hit points. I could get through that. You saw I tried to kill the Berserker off a few times, but I think Genji armor kept me from being able to do that.
Yeah, I mean, and Karma was saying he's like, I like him what he's trying to do with killing off this Berserker. Unfortunately, just you couldn't get the sword dance when you needed it, or to kill him off, or you would have to have like hit him with everybody, and they wouldn't have been able to mute. So
yeah, at that point, it was also a bit of just sunk cost. I was like, I'm doing this. I know this fight is winnable right now.
Yeah, and I think the thing that hurt you was going to World 2 so late. Because you missed out on a lot of the stuff that just made it so much easier, like some of the weapons and stuff that were found.
But
I felt like I had some really good axes early on. Like, I think the Giant's axe was in World 1, was it?
Yeah, and then the Rune axe was in the castle.
Yeah, I didn't even use that. I think I threw it at the end. It just didn't do very much.
See, it was... But there was something... Oh, Bahamut. Yeah, that's where Garlyle got you in the early game. He found Conjure and then went and pulled Bahamut. And
yeah, I also found Conjure, and then I pulled Bahamut and Leviathan, but I had too many other junk summons at that point to really make use of it. I tried to, but it wasn't working.
Yeah, he specifically did it so that he only had that. So
there was a point where he was in Ship Graveyard. He pulled Shiva out of the box and reset.
Yeah, he just reset just to not have it.
Makes sense. Yeah, that would have been really helpful.
But No Name, I did figure that's kind of what it was. I was thinking, I was like, he's probably at the point now where he's like that in that racer mentality where he's like, no, I know I can beat it with this party, and I was like, I'm wondering if he's kind of lost track of how much time he's.
No, I was aware that I was trying that first party for like 8 minutes.
Yeah, because like if you had gotten through that kind of a little bit quicker, you probably would have been closer to Garlyle in time, like right there with him for most of the seed. But unfortunately, yeah, you just got really kind of bogged down on that omniscient at the beginning there.
Yeah, I also got a little sidetracked, or I should say I underestimated the lack of haste and overestimated how good Giltoss was once that turned up. I was like, okay, Giltoss, instant win. I can just do that. But everyone else had finished, so I just went back for the save before trying Neo. I figured, what's the worst that happens? I die and go back.
I do have a question. So you never picked up Chemist. Are you not comfortable with Chemist?
I don't really like using mix, and especially here. Like, I know there's a lot of potentially very useful mixes, but like all of the best ones take items that you pretty much have to farm, and it just I didn't want to deal with that.
Well, everybody did combine guild toss for the end, which
Yeah.
Mhm.
so
Yeah,
it,
that,
the
having
mix.
the level boost would have been. I always forget about those too because plus 10 is. I actually had a sheet of a bunch of mixes open, and I see holy water antidote. So I
Yeah,
didn't note down where
Revivify,
both of those were.
yeah, revivifies. Pretty much like when I'm running a seed. Anytime I see revivify, antidote, either of those two, I'll buy like 40 on the spot. And then for eye drops and Phoenix Downs, I like to have like 20 or 30 because those are your big ones that you'll use toward the end if you find combine.
Well, the fun thing though that you did get to show off No Name on stream was the item duplication glitch because we were
Yeah,
like, what is he doing right here? And then
Yeah,
someone in chat was like, I think he's doing the item duplication glitch.
yes. I going into this, that was the one thing I really wanted to do if it turned up. So as soon as the thief crystal turned up, I was like, okay, I'm gonna get that. It didn't quite pan out super well. I had it meant I didn't have to worry about selling stuff or sorting my inventory a bunch during the middle of the run, but I messed it up a couple times. Like I forgot, like I was like, yes, I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna do it, and I just forgot little details on how you actually do it.
Yeah. But overall, though, it was a great run because you did get to show off in stream. Because, like, for the last couple of weeks, we just have had everybody using the Chemist Guild Toss run. But you did get to show off kind of a kind of more lower powered Ned fight, so you got to show off how mean Ned can actually be, but you also got
Mhm.
to show off like, hey, there is other strategies or other ways you can take down him without using kind of the overpowered Samson power guild toss technique. So that was fun to
Mhm.
see as well, though.
The summon's a really, really good way, and I did notice summon 5 in the void, but at that point I was just kind of um, I tend to do summon in the end game almost every time, so I figured, you know what, I can win with what I have without summon. I'm going to do that.
Yeah, but
yeah. The only thing I would have liked to see you have summoned was just for Gollum. Gollum would have saved you a
Yeah,
lot there in the end.
yeah,
I don't know because I knew I had a white and as a result image, and it wasn't like Bart's was going to be doing very much damage with with how I had him set up. Like all of my damage was going to come from throw, gill toss, and dance.
Yeah, and your dance
Because
one was absolutely
yeah.
bonkers.
I think you got 8 or 9 straight sword dances, and we are just like, this is the kind of luck you wish you have the entire seed.
I got a few jitterbug duets and mystery
Oh,
waltzes in there at
compared
the
to how
end.
many sword dances you got, though, you got way above the
Oh yeah,
average.
I know it's a 50-50, but hey, it was screwing me around for the other bunch of the seed.
Fair
Like I couldn't
enough.
get one against Omniscient, so I'll take it there.
Yeah, yeah. If there's any time to have insane sword dance luck, it is when you're facing Ned. So
Um, I really the first fight, the one I died on, I really wanted to save it after just seeing the damage value on Almagest. So I just wanted to be able to show, even when things go horribly wrong, you can come back.
hmm
But just if I had a pair of running shoes, I would have been able to come back from that. I'm pretty sure.
yeah, but you did get to show off kind of why Shell is so important going into Almagest if you're
Hmm.
not going to be able to drop it before he does use that off. It shows you how, like, oh, it goes from being like a party wiping thing to, oh, 700 damage. I can actually live through that even with a moderately level party, so.
Yeah, like Almagest is honestly, in my opinion, like the single worst design part of the game. Like it's one of those things. There are two right answers: put shell on everyone, or grind up a ton of health.
Yeah, or like find a way to drop it with like get a lucky break blade to kill it like ASAP kind of
Or
thing.
have break spellblade is guaranteed to work. Shoat and break are not guaranteed to work, and in fact, it's like less than 10%.
Yeah,
Um,
I've been on there where
though
I
if
had
you
like
have a bunch
everybody
of
using show.
pinwheels, and give everybody throw, you actually and everybody has haste, you actually do have the damage output to drop it before a cast.
It's just pretty tight. Like you got to be on top of
Yeah,
it.
you got to be on top of that.
But overall, still a great race. I do know we hopefully you'll be joining us for the 1.0 tournament that's going to be coming up when that releases. So hopefully we'll get to see you race more for that. Before we get out of here, No Name, was there anything you wanted to shout out to the stream or anybody you wanted to shout out before we get out of here?
Uh, I mean, just shout outs to everybody who does career day. It's like Final Fantasy V is my favorite, I think, in terms of the gameplay. So it's really cool to just have a bunch of different like new situations to get into.
Completely
It's
agree.
really cool to see just what turns up.
Yeah, it definitely provides like so many unique situations and so much like problem solving with the different parties that you build throughout the team, throughout the game. So I completely agree with you there. Well, thank you so much for running for us tonight and showing off kind of a different version of how to fight Ned. We really appreciate that.
Hmm.
And
Another really fun way that I forgot
yeah,
that actually I almost did it because I had catch, and you can get yellow dragons in the castle section, and then you could just release 4 of those and just
yes,
chunk the entire thing for like 2/3 of its health at least.
yes, I have heard of
It
that strategy before as well.
Yeah, it doesn't work too well if you don't have freelancer or mime, just so you have the extra ability slots, because it does take up your ability slots. But it is often worth considering, especially given the dancer setup there.
Yeah, completely agree. It just shows off kind of even more fun ways that you can take care of Ned. But yep, thank you so much for running with us tonight. We are going to be wrapping up the stream. Unfortunately, my co-commentator Karma had to drop out, but thank you to him for racing, for him commentating with me tonight. Again, Garlyle and No Name, thank you so much for racing for us. Going to put it one last time in chat for anybody who does want to join us in the Final Fantasy V Career Day Discord. There is the link for where you can go see it. It's an amazing randomizer. We have the 1.0 release coming up pretty soon, and then about a month after that, we're going to be having our 1.0 release tournament, which should be a lot of fun. We're going to try to stream as much of that as possible. Yep, thank you so much for everybody for joining us. Thank you for Randomania for yet again always willing to host these races. We appreciate it as always. And everybody have a great night. Thank you and good night.